Check 1 2 1 2, bitch.
And I've been waiting, baby.
Y'all don't know what I'm doing right now. I'm big pressing right now.
Big pressing.
Shout out to Stutter Man, Old Town's very own.
And Quake Beats.
Yes, sir. Episode 264
264.
of the most consistent podcast in the area. iLLogical Sense. This is your boy Buzzbeast.
And over here is your boy JC No Headaches.
We're getting our big stepping right now. You know, Bay Area style. LA has a whole other way of doing it, you know.
That they do.
Yeah.
That they do.
That they do. How the fuck you doing?
I'm chilling, man.
Same here. I'm been chilling.
I've been chilling.
Been
celebrating, getting ready for new life.
Yeah, you have, yeah.
Life has been good. Welcoming, getting ready for my nephew.
Yeah.
On the way. So we've been celebrating with my brother and my brother's girl.
Yeah.
So we had the baby shower.
Once again.
What was it?
That was like 2 weeks ago.
Last weekend?
Mother's Day weekend.
Not this past weekend, but
yeah,
the weekend before. Mother's Day weekend.
Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Happy belated Mother's Day, you know.
Yeah, so that went smooth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said.
That kid is spoiled rotten already.
Yeah, he is. Oh, yeah, and again, Gabby's mother's chips. Mwah. Oh, my God, I was like, crack. Oh my God! Like she's like, oh, you like them chips, huh? Yeah, I was like, yeah, take a whole cup. I'm like, nigga, no plate.
No, you don't want the rice. The rice is free base.
Oh God! I know what I'm getting from. I know I'm.
The rice is. The rice is. It's almost dry.
You gotta put the former back in the. First, you gotta put the rice back into the container and let it blood.
The rice will turn you into a zombie.
Well, how was your Mother's Day though?
It was smooth. My mom, the Mother's Day was right after the baby shower, so we did not do shit. My mom laid up in the house.
Nice.
And that's how we spent it.
Yeah, I took my mom to brunch. It was nice. We were just chilling. They had like a little band playing and all that. That was cool.
Wingstop fucked up my order, so my mom just ate what was the fuck up order.
How did they fuck up your order?
They didn't send the fries on the delivery.
Ooh, no. You gotta have the fries.
So I went and got in my car.
Did you get your fries?
Yeah, and I put the order back in the bag. I was just gonna do a trade-off because it was like, okay, well, here's the food, you know. I just want some hot food. Mm-hmm. And they were like, well, we messed it up, so just keep that food. And we'll just make the whole order again.
And they give you your sauce and everything, too?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what the fuck I thought.
So I brought back the old order with the new order.
What's the regular you get all the time?
Oh, man.
Because I need to mix it up a bit.
Oh, man. Look here, brother. This is what you do, okay?
Uh-huh.
You get your 10-piece all drums.
Ooh.
You tell them original hot. You tell them wet.
Wet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like my wings like I like my women. Wet.
Wet. Yeah. A good yeah.
Give me a hell yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Then you get on the side. Well, I guess you could do it now. Mm-hmm. Because they have it now. Hot lemon.
Okay.
But when they don't have it in stock, you just get the lemon pepper on the side.
Okay.
Bring it home. Just douse the bitch.
Douse that bitch.
Because the wings are already wet with the hot sauce.
Yeah.
So now you just douse it even more. You just let it sizzle. Then Wingstop got a special where you do 2 strips for $1.99 or $2.99.
I think I had that before.
And you just had to tell them all wet barbecue sauce.
Ooh.
Just let it marinate. And then, of course, the fries. Because I order so much, I always get the coupons in the email for the free fries. So I just add on in my meal the veggies, and then I get the fries on the side with the coupon.
The fries and their ranch.
Yes, the perfect combination.
Oh my god, they have the best ranch.
That's why when people are like, "Oh, I only eat French fries with ketchup," I'm like, "You ain't never been to Wingstop.
You never had no Wingstop, boy.
you don't know."
I was about to tap on the. First time I had the Wingstop ranch.
Okay, Lamar.
Okay, Lamar. We about to bring you to the Wingstopper. That's a nice Subway. We might as well just get there now. Y'all know why you're here. Y'all know what this is. You see the cover. He has returned. Hear the horns. He has returned.
Somebody did this.
Oh my God.
Our last review for Kendrick Lamar was 5 years ago.
Rushing through all the songs.
Oh, my bad. Anyway, like I said, last time we reviewed this man's music, his album was 5 years ago. We're damn. Then after that, we reviewed 5 Drake albums, 2 Jay-Z projects.
No, we reviewed the Black Panther soundtrack.
I know, but album, like actual solo album.
That nigga was floating all throughout Black Panther. That wasn't just a regular soundtrack.
Okay, all right, whatever. That if you want to count that,
I'm not gonna count it as a solo album, but that wasn't just no regular soundtrack.
Yeah,
either.
I know, I get it, but it's just. We reviewed.
Nigga was floating around. I am Killmonger.
I am Killmonger, Oakland, California. Yeah, I know. Anyway, we reviewed hella Drake albums. We reviewed a Jay Electronica album,
No,
2 Nas albums.
You reviewed a Jay Electronica
3
album.
Nas
I
albums.
reviewed a Jay Electronica Jay-Z album.
You know what the fuck I mean. 2 J. Cole albums.
3 big crits.
3 big crit albums.
Couple big Seans.
Couple big Seans. We reviewed a whole lot of
A
people.
Logic retirement.
An unretirement.
And then we just ignored that nigga all throughout.
A few DJ Khaled albums. We reviewed a whole lot of music from artists. They're cool.
You want some plies with that?
For supply. But nah, man. Kendrick Lamar has finally made his return to the music world with Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And my God, that was an event.
No, he didn't.
Huh?
No, he didn't.
What do you mean?
He made his return with
Babies.
The Heart Part 5.
Oh, you're right. That's a ding. That was the appetizer. Oh man, I don't know exactly where I was at because I was about to watch Backlash, right? And the pre-show was just about to go off, and then it hit 5 o'clock, and then I have Kendrick's tweet notifications on. Mm-hmm. It literally popped up, The Heart Part 5. I was like, oh, send it to you, and I went straight to YouTube. I turned that shit off with the quickness.
You sent that to me. I was sitting down. Said, let's get this shit.
Let's get this shit.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that shit?
I liked it. It was right in tune with the heart. Soulful sample. And then right after the video, went and looked it up. Marvin Gaye sample. Mm-hmm. Right on par.
Video was deep.
Was it what they call them? The deep fakes? The fake
fakes. Yeah, deep fakes.
I missed the first couple because I was looking down. But I knew to watch the video firsthand.
Yeah.
So the first actual deep fake I saw was Jussie Smollett. So you can imagine the shock of missing OJ and Kanye. But the first one was Jussie Smollett and looking up and was like, what the fuck?
And then when it was playing for the streets, got me fucked up.
Powerful nigga.
I was like, I love you, kid. I ain't gonna let that go. I was like, no.
I thought I smoked too much weed.
Nah, when I first saw it, when he just did that little swipe and he turned into OJ, I was like, oh, this is what we're doing, Kendrick. Okay. And then he turned into fucking, Jussie Smollett. Kanye. Kanye looked fat on Kendrick. That was fat Kanye. And then after that, who else did he go to? Jussie Smollett. Then he turned into Will Smith. That was the most creepiest one to me. Before Nipsey, that was the most creepiest one, the Will Smith one. Because he dead. I mean, yeah.
He had hair.
I know, but the look on his face.
Why the added creepiness was that Will Smith had hair.
Yeah. Yeah, nappy ass hair. And then he turned into Kobe was quick for a split. I remember when I first saw it, I didn't see it at first. And then when I was like, oh shit, that's Kobe. And then it went away. And then the last part, which I still get creeped out. Not creeped out, but it still gives me chills, was that last verse, which was pretty much him rapping from Nipsey's perspective.
Yeah.
And every time I kept listening to it, I heard Nipsey. He was literally rapping like Nipsey. Not like what Game does, when he forces it and shit.
Right.
Like, he had his cadence, he was rapping like him. Even his movements in the video, he was moving like Nipsey. And I'm not even a Nipsey Hussle fan like that, but I know just enough how he is. That shit I still get goosebumps just thinking about it. Like, that shit just like, wow. What was your reaction to it?
This is cinema.
It's that Scorsese shit.
Yeah. And then like I went and put that up on Twitter, and then next day I'm like, oh shit, I'm all over these fucking mediums with that fucking tweet.
Yeah.
But I wasn't joking. That was my literal first response was, damn, this is cinema. Mm-hmm. I was
lost for words.
Not necessarily at a loss for words, but as emotional without crying as you could be without crying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is pretty powerful. This is good stuff. Mm-hmm. And you see a lot of people that were like, oh, I was expecting something else from Kendrick. But if you follow Kendrick's career,
especially with the Heart series,
this is how it starts. It's the heart. Now, the heart always channels you into the album. That's how it always goes.
But when you heard that Marvin Gaye sample, I'm like, man, that's expensive as fuck. I'm like, I was thinking, is this gonna be on the album? And I was just thinking, I was like, they can't just leave this off. No,
that's no. The heart is the only heart that's been on a project is the Heart Part 2.
That was on Overly Dedicated.
On Overly Dedicated. Mm-hmm. That was the opening track.
And you had a great response, like how you broke down the whole Heart series on your Twitter.
Yeah, the Heart series, how I view it is Heart Part 1 is K-Dot's. I put Kendrick in all of them, but after having time to sit on it, Heart Part 1 is K-Dot's ambition. Heart Part 2 is Kendrick's arrival. Part 3 is Kenny's pressure.
Yeah. Which is my favorite.
Part 3 is my favorite too. I'll explain why after. Heart Part 4 is Kung Fu Kenny's takeover. And Heart Part 5 is Oklama's perspective.
That's a good way to say it.
The reason why I enjoy Part 3 the most is because that is the last time you hear on record Kendrick questioning himself whether or not he can do this as a rapper. That is single-handedly the last time, because remember, when you go and you listen to Good Kid, Mad City, that is all past tense. That is him talking about him as a teenager.
Yeah.
Now he reflects in certain parts and instances in present time, but for the bulk of that album, that is
all in the past.
That is a reflective past tense album. So everything that he is saying in terms of being questionable and questioning his upbringing, that is in dealing with himself as a teenager.
Yeah.
So I don't hold that in terms of him questioning himself as a grown-ass adult the way he did on Part 3. But that is the very last time you hear him questioning.
Because he was desperate. He was hungry. Like, you could hear the desperation, the hunger, the excitement. Like, you could literally hear it in his voice. That's why I like 3. 4 is second because, he's cocky. He's rapping his ass off, and he's like, I'm going to take over all you motherfuckers. I am the greatest rapper alive.
Well, in 3, it's the only one that has features on it, too.
With J-Rock and Ab-Soul, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was great. I was listening to that the other day.
And 3 plays out. So how I like it is that really the heart sets up everything in terms of the album. But 3 especially does sound like a film trailer. Like, I don't know if you've ever tried this, but if you close your eyes and listen to that song sounds like a trailer for Good Kid, Mad City in the same way as a trailer for like Boys in the Hood or Menace to Society.
Is it show scenes from the whole album?
Like
rapping
yeah. Like you can picture a Coupe de Ville driving down a fucking block, and see kids doing freestyles as they're pushing the whip down the block, like that type of shit. You can see that. So in this one with the Heart Part 5, this was okay. He's dealt with pressure. He's dealt with taking over. He knows he's on top. This is very introspective, and now he's doing it from different points of views. Okay, let's see where this goes into.
So that week ahead, because that was just an appetizer for what was to come.
Yeah,
because Jack Harlow already dropped. So Kendrick, because we only had 5 days, and then that Thursday out here in the West Coast, that was the most anxious I've ever been waiting for an album to drop. Last time I felt that way was for Watch the Throne. I was literally just like, and I was kind of looking at leaks, like there was no track list. You didn't know when you saw that cover art, which was just, I need that on vinyl.
That's a great cover.
Oh my God.
That is a great cover.
Oh, that was better than this To Pimp a Butterfly. When I saw that cover, like, oh, we about to be in some shit. That's what I thought to myself, like, okay, this about to be some shit. So, and then that countdown happened, and then like, and I told myself, do not listen to none of his shit. Like, do not listen to his past stuff. But I did only listen to one album, and that was To Pimp a Butterfly. Something told me, listen to Pimp a Butterfly, don't listen to nothing else. So I was like, okay. Something just told me that. And then I'll kind of listen to features here and there, but that's the mistake I did last time when Damn came out. I went through Good Kid, Mad City to Section 80 to Pimp a Butterfly, and when Damn came out, I was like, oh, I didn't expect this. Okay, so I gotta expect the unexpected. So I'm just gonna not put my expectations. I'm just excited.
I was going to do that, and then some just told me, just go back and just revisit. Not to build up and say, oh, because this album's gonna be those. Yeah. It was just, just go back and play the anthology. Like, it's a Kendrick Appreciation Week. Yeah. Why not? He has enough product to do it for each day. So I split it up in each day. Where I did. He literally at that point had enough hearts for each day at that point. Yeah, 5 days. So each heart went into a project. So I did Heart 1 going into Section 80. Yeah. I didn't play Overly Dedicated, but I played Heart 2 going... I'm
surprised you didn't.
Actually, no, I did Heart 1 and Heart 2 going into Section 80.
Oh, okay.
Then I did Heart 3 going into Good Kid, Mad City. Then I didn't do any of the hearts, but I did To Pimp a Butterfly and then Untitled and Mastered. And then I did Heart 4 into Damn. And then obviously it's the same day because we, as West Coasters, we have the best days for release days because it's the same fucking day. We don't have to wait until Friday.
Till midnight in the East Coast, like y'all niggas.
And I was like, damn, I can't stay up late. And it's like, shit, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with y'all. It's the same damn day for me. Shit, it's the best time during basketball season because inside the NBA come on. Like Thursdays be motherfucking lit for releases.
For West Coast. And I remember I was just sitting back and going on Twitter, and it was like Kendrick Appreciation Day, and Drake fans were nervous. Everyone's going like, oh, what if it doesn't drop on time? Thinking they're like Kanye. And I was just like, oh man, y'all nervous. And then when that last minute happened, it felt like New Year's. And then even the Kanye stan account watching the throne, like 2 minutes. I'm like, damn, y'all don't even do this for Kanye. He's like, because I know he ain't gonna drop at midnight.
Know your favorites.
He's like, yeah, I know, because he ain't gonna drop at midnight. And then it hit midnight, and I was on Tidal because I wanted to get the highest of resolution. Shout out to Hov, it's your boy.
I wasn't playing shit until I bought it off of iTunes. That's just out. Again, I have a list of certain artists. It's not even just rappers. It's certain artists. I'm not gonna play the music until I have properly purchased it. Yeah. So obviously it goes without saying Kendrick is on that list. I wasn't gonna press play, even if that meant being behind a song or two on the timeline. I didn't care. So it didn't matter to me.
Because you have a whole experience. Because I'm really interested in it. My experience. I had my headphones. I was downtown. I was downstairs, and as soon as I pressed play, I heard the "Before You Go." Da, 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 da. I was just like, "Oh, this is about to be a play." And I instantly thought back to Day in Vegas. And Joey, who was there with us, he hit us up in the group chat like, he was like, yo, this reminds me of Day in Vegas. And
when he said Vegas, I'll see you soon.
Very soon. And then as soon as I heard this, I was like, okay, I'm about to beat some shit. I was off an edible.
Tell them.
What?
Tell them.
Baku. Return of the Jedi. Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Baku.
Baku. Baku.
Luke.
Fuck them Jedi.
Fuck them. Anyway, so I listened to the headphones. And then when it was done, I was like, because my bonus track is Hard Part 5. Mm-hmm. So when it ended after Mirrors, it went to the Hard Part 5, and I was like, okay, that was an experience. I can't call JC right now because I was like, I can't call him right now. I gotta sit with this shit. I gotta talk to somebody. And then Edgar called me literally instantly. And then I was like, that was a lot. It took a lot out of me. I was like, I gotta listen to this too. I can't go back. I was like, I can't go back and listen to this right now because it was a lot.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, I gotta go back to this. Now,
so,
your experience.
So after I explained this, I don't think it's best to. I think it's just best to talk about what we look like. We're gonna have a conversation about this.
Oh yeah.
But I am going to tell you. I was not in the best frame of mind to receive this message on the first listen.
You weren't expecting all that.
Let me tell you something, brother. I came outside. Again, I did not. I'm not putting anything on Kendrick.
Yeah.
Because what I will say is, I thought that he released a beautiful album for him.
Okay.
A personal album for him. Mm-hmm. So I came outside. So I'm gonna put this. My first listen, I'm gonna put this on the sound bar.
That was
Notice I got quiet.
Why did you do that? That's wow. Go on.
And at some point during that experience, I just said, I don't think I should be experiencing this shit. I think I need to go to bed.
This is pissing me off.
I think I pressed the wrong Kendrick Lamar button. This must be Lamar Kendrick.
This is Duckworth.
This really might be Oklahoma. I really might need to go to bed.
I'll do better tomorrow. I'm about to be like LeBron getting up and walking away.
Be better tomorrow.
Okay.
And then that's exactly what happened. Sound test number 2, the car.
The car.
It was a better experience in the car. I will tell you that.
Okay.
Sound test number 3.
Headphones.
The headphones. It was a very, very better experience in the headphones. It just seemed like the closer I got,
the more intimate.
It was like, okay, all right, I get it. Okay.
Okay.
But I knew what it was from the first listen. Okay, this is a therapy session.
Yeah.
All right, like this doesn't. It didn't take long for me to understand that. Mm-hmm. This is a therapy session, but because obviously where we're recording, the people don't know this, but you and I clearly, because this is where we're sitting, the couch.
You were sitting on the
and the soundboard is way over there.
Why did you do it
and the
that
TV
way,
is there,
bro?
and the lyrics are over here, and the lyrics are going here, and I'm just sitting here like.
Is that how you experienced Damn the first time on speakers or your headphones?
How did I experience Damn? Well, I didn't have the soundboard for that. But I had speakers. I like experiencing things like very spatial. I don't like doing headphones for
first listens.
I like doing headphones if it's gonna be R&B. I don't like doing headphones. It's rap. It's hip hop.
But this is Kendrick.
Okay, and Kendrick is a very.
I hear you.
Kendrick's a very. You get a mixed bag with Kendrick, but Kendrick is a very.
He's a
outside type of sound.
Yeah, I won't say he's like
even with To Pimp a Butterfly when it was intimate. It's a very. I like my
funk.
Like
it was funk. It was funk, and it mixed all that into
Absolutely. So it's like I don't want that in my headphones. Like play it.
Yeah, blast that shit. Blast that shit.
The fuck I sound like King Kunta in my headphones, nigga.
You can never bang.
You know what I'm saying? Like George Clinton coming on. I got that in my headphones.
Take that shit off. Jam, nigga.
That fucking jam. Look at that funk ooze through my speakers, nigga. Fucking edible, nigga. Get a psychedelic.
Yeah.
Now, let's have a conversation.
Album's a classic. For me, to me personally, it is a masterpiece.
What do you love about it? Because I will engage about what I love about this.
What I love about this album is just how intimate it is. How it's very different than anything he has ever dropped. And it's just literally an experience. That's what it feels like. Because I like albums like this. It's a very cinematic album. And I literally, just like all his previous albums, I visualize everything. It feels like a play. And I just love how honest he was about it. I love how he purposely made this uncomfortable for you to listen to. Like, as a listener, he is forcing you to sit down and listen to what he's saying. And we don't get music like that no more. And it's just like, when I would go back to my first listen, I knew what I heard. I'm like, I'm gonna like this shit. But I don't know if everybody else is. Am I gonna have to defend this shit? I was sounding like Wayne Brady. Buzz, we gotta choke a bitch. Because I'm used to doing this with Kanye and M and shit. Those two I can understand, but this is Kendrick Lamar, and he made this album, and I knew it was personal and it was raw. It was just, and I didn't think he was ever going to get this raw against this To Pimp a Butterfly, but he made To Pimp a Butterfly sound like surface level compared to this shit, and I just feel like just the music, everything about it, and I kept listening, and the more I kept listening, the more I started like pointing out the hit singles, the more I started hearing the lyrics more, and I was just like, how it was constructed, sequenced, it's a masterpiece.
So I definitely love the fact that he gave us art that needed to be discussed. Mm-hmm. I really appreciate the fact that he gave us something that was important to him.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. I love the fact that he discussed topics that aren't necessarily talked about. Mm-hmm. I can appreciate that. So there's definitely elements there. This isn't a bad album in any aspect. Mm-hmm. To me, I do think this is anywhere from a good to a great album. Mm-hmm. But I do have my critiques on this album.
Okay.
Obviously, with that being said, I don't know where I stand in the majority. I don't care because I'm not
You're speaking for yourself.
I'm speaking for myself. So it goes without saying, I don't think this is a classic.
I will fight you.
There's elements. There's elements here missing.
Okay.
The first listen, it really took me until the fourth track to actually catch a groove.
And that was Die Hard.
Yeah. It sounded, even with N95. N95 I got, and I was like, okay, like I'm nodding my head. But even when I was nodding my head, I was like, there's not that umph. And something's missing. I don't know what I can't put my finger on it. Mm-hmm. Father Time, fabulous track. Like, Father Time was, even though I like Die Hard, mm-hmm. Father Time was the first track on the album where I was like, this is Wrap It Up, Solidify It. That's the first one where mm-hmm. I don't have any question about that track.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try to pretend. I'm very confused with the utilization of Kodak Black.
Yeah. That was...
I'm not even going to like... I understand his stance in what he said later on in the album when he said, I'm not a savior. Truth be told, I'm more Kodak Black. I get it. Mm-hmm. I'm not even upset with the feature. But the usage and utilization of him throughout the album, it was like, okay. I would have felt that would have been more reserved for Baby Keem, to be honest.
I kind of thought that too.
So from that perspective, yeah, it was like that. I honestly don't think this really should have been a double album. I felt like for every 4 tracks, 1 track could have been taken out.
Really?
If not 1 track, at least 2 could have been combined and minimized and intertwined. Because it just seemed like certain things were just, it was going all over the place. I understand going touching different tangents, going different directions. But it just seemed like he was going all over the place at times. And I was just like, I can't catch a rhythm at this point.
And it was he made that on purpose.
I understand he made it on purpose, but there's making it on purpose, and then it's sonically, musically, it's messing with me, and it's like I can't catch. I literally musically I can't catch a rhythm. Because lyrically he was there, but sonically I just at certain points I just couldn't catch a rhythm. What was it like? The intro track. It wasn't even until the third listen when I was like, okay, I finally get it, because the third listen when I had it in my headphones was when I took a walk. Was when I took my 4-mile run and jog. Whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, finally, like I'm moving, like I get it. But even then, it was like, all right, whatever. Worldwide Steppers, like he's rapping, he's getting it. I'm not even gonna lie, it's the 5th spin on this album. I still have no connection to Worldwide Steppers.
I look at that song as him, because when I was going through it again, I was starting to piece together, I guess, the story of it. Because United in Grief, he's pretty much opening up. He's telling the listener, like, I've been fucked up for a minute.
Yeah.
And then he's saying that I pretty much bought materialistic shit to cover the pain and shit like that. N95 is him pretty much saying, yeah, let's strip off all that shit off. Strip off all the material and all this other stuff, and we're gonna be raw right now. Worldwide Steppers is him just kind of it was like word vomit. He was just saying everything that's been on his mind that he's been suppressing for all this time and shit like that. And then when we get to Die Hard, the hook, how's it go?
I hope I'm not too late to set my demons straight. You know what I'm saying? Which again, I understand and I get, like, lyrically he was there. Yeah. But sonically, Terrace Martin is missing, bro. He's not there.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously.
And that's a component that's missing. Like that's missing. Sonically, Terrace Martin not being here is to help him tie this together. That's something I can't ignore.
Oh, I hear you.
So that was what was messing with me, because it's like lyrically he's there and I get it, but the sounds, it's throwing me off, because there's something that should be tying this together. I'm not talking about lyrically, I get it. I'm talking about musically, where all these instruments are sounding beautiful, but there's something that should tie them together in my ears, and it's not pulling them all together.
Somebody else was missing on this album too, and that was mixed by Ali. He only mixed one record on here,
right?
And that was
so that's what I'm saying. So now you have two components that have usually been there.
Well, Terrace Martin wasn't there on Damn.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, what song?
On Loyalty.
He did the saxophone?
Whatever, he's always been there throughout his albums. Like, he's always had some kind of interaction with there. So it's Loyalty or Pride. It's one of the two. I forgot which ones. But he's always had some type of involvement. But he's not here at all. And then with Mixed by Ali, yeah, you're right. That is, Mixed by Ali is literally the
only song he mixed was "We Cry Together," which
right. So yeah. So that was, again, it was like, okay, I understand the concept, but something's not clicking. And then we get to We Cry Together. Well, before that, was it Rich Spirit?
Rich Spirit.
I like Rich Spirit.
That song's hard. Stop playing me. What do you do with song?
I really like Rich Spirit.
That song's hard.
I really like.
I love that record.
I really don't need to say much about that. So that's the thing. As I'm going through this, the songs that you aren't really going to hear me say much about. It goes without saying, because I'm like, what do you want me to say about it? That's him in his element.
And Purple Hearts too. SZA should have been on that one. I like Summer Walker, but I always felt SZA would have been perfect on that.
We'll discuss.
Oh, we're going to discuss about the whole...
Now, We Cry Together. My first reaction to that was...
What was your reaction to that?
My first reaction was my Twitter reaction, which was like, all right, so this is Baby Boy,
Tyler
Perry, fucking Love and Hip Hop, and Zeus all rolled together. Like, this is delicious. And then the more and more I started listening to it, I was like, I'm not going to give him points for this.
You're not giving him points for that? Really?
This nigga stole John Singleton's whole flow, copied it bar for bar, word for word.
My reaction to that, I was more in shock. I thought that was just the intro, but then when it kept going, I'm like, oh, this is the song. And again, and the response I had was kind of similar to when I first heard Eminem's Kim, just minus the, Blake, bitch, Blake!
Yeah.
But it was just like, wow. And what's her name? The actress that Tyler Perry? Not Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry.
Yeah, I deserve that. Taylor Page. Taylor Page, yeah. She's an actress. And I was just like, wow, like, kudos to her for her.
She was in the movie, I'm forgetting the title, the one that was based on the Twitter story about the stripper.
Zoe. Oh, yeah, that is her.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, pretty much. And how she was, like, yelling on that shit.
She did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
She made that shit believable.
With her voice screeching and shit.
Yeah.
And Kendrick Kendrick was just being pretty much in the back burner for that. But
so here's really a lot of my issues with that track.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good concept, so I'm not taking away from what could have been done. It's a good concept.
Mm-hmm.
He really missed the landing point on how he could have tied that together to a track that was on side disc 2.
It kind of did tie together. It tied the Purple Hearts
on side 2, not Purple
2.
Hearts.
Well, what could have tied into?
He could have tied that song into Auntie Diaries.
Huh?
So this is what I'm talking about. This is just like a surface track, bro. Like, this is like a copy and paste. I've seen this on Baby Boy.
Not an audio, but this is an audio form.
I know, but the thing is, I actually prefer seeing it on Baby Boy because I actually get to see Taraji P. Henson. So I prefer that. So he didn't do much for me here. The way he could have tied this in and made it so much more, oh my God, like we're actually how he ended it was stop tap dancing around the topic. He actually could have done something with this and progressed and made it into a bigger conversation. Was in the midst of their argument, tying it into how women actually play a role into the insecurities of male masculinity, and taking it to an argument point of saying a trigger point into his relatives' transitions, and like leading into that, like, oh shit, wait a minute, what's going on here? Tying something into that, so that way instead of just going into they're fucking.
I see where you're coming from that, but those two songs, We Cry Together and Purple Hearts, literally are like yin and yang of each other.
Which is why I think they both shouldn't have been on the project. That's what I'm getting at.
Nah,
they both shouldn't have.
Disagree with you on that one.
I know.
I completely disagree.
I know because you also think this is a classic.
Yeah, I know, but I hear you, but. I get you.
Because to go to them fucking, it's like, well, what are we getting at?
Shut the fuck up when you hear love talking. That's like the equivalent of a couple looking like they're arguing, and then people voice their opinions about it. So that's what they say, man, shut the fuck up when you hear love talking. Like, mind your business. That was Purple Hearts. It literally was the second half of that song. Of the subject matter.
But this is also why I got confused with the context of that song too.
And also,
go on. This is also why I got confused with the context of that song too. This is his therapy session. But then he's like, this is what the world sounds like. So I'm like, okay, is this you? Is this like, what are we getting at here?
Maybe he was just probably talking about what was going on with him and his girl. Him and his girl were probably arguing. That's probably how him and his girl were arguing, and then they went right back to fucking.
I get it, but that's what I'm saying. He didn't execute it properly, so that's why I'm saying it didn't. I mean, that's fine. You can disagree, but I'm telling you,
that's your opinion.
I'm telling you what I'm getting from my ears.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't executed because all I could think of was like this. Literally, just sounded like he just took it from Baby Boy, and you can't say because that's literally how it ended in Baby Boy.
Yeah, I know.
So that's why I'm getting confused. It's like, well, how does this go? And on top of that, like, how the fuck's an argument go, bro? I refuse to believe a woman just gonna all of a sudden bring up Harvey Weinstein. All of a sudden, she's just gonna start getting wet. I refuse to believe that.
It's also kind of satire too.
I get it, but like this is what I'm talking about: sticking the landing.
I mean, a lot of women when they were listening to it, like even my homegirl, she was just like, "Yeah, I felt every word she was saying. Like it was triggering." I was like, "Yeah, I agree with her." Like a lot of people, like I guess toxic couples, people that have been in toxic relationships, they agreed with old girl. Like they saw exactly what he was like. They knew what she was saying. But you know, that's neither here or there. I hear you on that. I see where you're coming from on that. But the way this album was constructed is like, I can see how you feel like it could go into Auntie Diaries, but everything from track 2, like how it was sequenced, everything was building up to that moment. So, you know.
Yeah, and like again, that's why I don't think Auntie Diaries in itself, I also get that concept. And like, I guess
Great record, by the way.
It wasn't
all decade record.
It wasn't concept. In that though, he also made himself the main character of that. And those type of records, those are tricky to me. Where I'm not mad at him for it, but at the same time, I don't know. I don't necessarily want to hear. In those type of records, be more of an ally, and in the sense of, I guess, be a feature with those type of topics. That one's tough for me.
Well,
because it's that one. I just don't want to hear himself as the main character in that one. Only because it's like, imagine somebody being a racist type shit. I don't want to and that's fucked up for me to say, because I don't want to compare him to that.
I know.
But it's like, imagine.
I hear you.
Somebody coming in that perspective, and it's like they make themselves the main character, and it's like, hey, I'm not this, and it's, I don't know. It's,
in my opinion, the album is basically about him and his therapy session. We're in his mind, and he said from the beginning, "I ain't holding shit back." He said it in the very beginning of the album. I'm not holding nothing back, so I'm going to be completely raw. And even on that same album, on Savior, which is another fire ass track, he pretty much said, "I am not your savior. Don't look at me." He pretty much was saying, "I ain't shit. So stop looking up to me. I'm going to say what's on my mind. I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to say what I got to say. And that's it. I don't care. Just take it for what you want. Stop looking up to me." So when somebody tells you who they are, because honestly, Kendrick has been literally telling us who he is for the past few albums.
Absolutely. You
know, you should believe them the first time. So if he's pretty much telling you, "I ain't shit," done, I'm like, okay, you ain't shit, nigga. Fuck. Like, it's the equivalent of what happened in the Matrix. Like, I keep going back to the Matrix.
Well, there's a difference. He's not telling you he ain't shit.
Basically, that's what he's saying.
No, he's
on
not
Savior,
saying.
He was saying
what
that.
He's saying is, I'm human. There's a difference between not being shit and saying I'm human. Ain't being shit is a complete difference, bro. Like that's what he's ain't being shit versus not being a savior.
When I say I ain't shit, he's pretty much saying, don't look up to me. Like, I'm human. Do not look up to me, because I'll probably will let you down. There's a reason why he said in the very beginning of those Savior, when he listed LeBron and J. Cole and Future, like, they taught you these things, but they are not your savior. And himself, I made you think about it, but I am not your savior. Future made you get a money counter, but he is not your savior. LeBron made you, all that shit. So he was kind of pretty much hyping it all up. And he was also talking about cancel culture and how he has to watch what he says so people won't get in their feelings. And
I have to disagree with you on a certain extent. I get what you're trying to say. But he's not saying don't look up to me. What he's saying is don't idolize me.
It's the same shit.
It's not. Because a kid from Compton can look up to Kendrick and say, I can make it out. I can do what Kendrick did, and I can look up to him as somebody that is a good person to go after and chase their dreams. Kendrick he put his dreams out on the table, and then he set goals out and accomplished it. That is somebody to go and look up to and do it. Just don't idolize them and make them a deity. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
To say I ain't shit, that's completely different from what he's saying. That's a misrepresentation of his message.
I mean,
that's not what he's saying. What he's saying is just, I'm not an idol. Don't make me a god. I'm not your savior. I'm not Jesus Christ. I'm not somebody. Don't pray to me. But what he's saying is, I gave you the blueprint. That's fine, but I'm not your savior. That's what he is saying.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. But all in all, to me,
now Purple Hearts stand out. I did like Purple Hearts.
Purple Hearts was fire. and the Kodak Black record. Like,
that goes into disc 2. Count Me Out. I enjoyed Count Me Out.
Silent Hill.
Crown was another one of those tracks where I was like,
Andre 3000 should have been on that.
This is a personal track, so it was like, okay. It just was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of like those piano driven tracks were just, it was like, okay.
It was too raw for you, huh?
I don't even know if it was too raw, because it was...
Because honestly, the more I listen to that record, the more I love it. For me, because it's such a calming record, and how he's harmonizing in it and everything. It's, I don't know, maybe because I love being in the mood for it, and I always listen to it at night, and it's just a calming record for me. And he's being raw again, saying, I can't please everybody. And that's another thing I get from this album. He's literally telling you, I can't please you guys. So I'm literally just going to lay everything out for you right now. I mean, you know me, I like it raw.
No,
but,
again, this, for what I'm trying to explain is, lyrically he was there.
No.
And I received that.
But sonically, something was missing.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know what that was. It was, I don't know. Silent Hill.
That shit's fire.
Good track, but Kodak smoked him on that one. Which is fine. It's not a big deal. It happens to him once on every album. The one feature gets him. It's not a big deal.
What do you think about Mother I Sober?
Oh, I thought that's Mother.
Oh yeah,
Sober.
yeah. I thought the same shit, but yeah. They should have just lowercase the I.
Well, I thought Baby King came through and ripped the Savior.
The Savior. Oh my God, he did with the classical music playing in the background and shit. That shit was fire.
Savior, of course, is a highlight to me. So that's fine. I've already spoken my piece on it. Auntie Diaries, Mr. Morale.
Well, you don't.
That's
like
the one with the Pharrell, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one. Mm-hmm. It wasn't necessarily like top of the.
It was used to set up Mother I Sober. That's
Yeah. So it was a nice setup. Mm-hmm. Mother Sober was the
I Sober.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it was. Sonically, it was kind of, I think maybe too much piano driven. So that was when it got to there, it was, okay, that was really nice to finally get here and get that kind of track. So maybe if Crown and was there another piano driven?
Yeah, it was Crown. That was the only one.
Excuse me. Crown and Worldwide Steppers. I felt like maybe those have just been shortened. Because Mother I Sober was, I had no problem with that. That was great.
Oh, that's an all-decade record right there. Mother I Sober and
that basically gets to the root of where his issues are.
Mm-hmm. And Mirror, that was such like a that was the one that certified it for me about how this is just classic. Like, I choose me, I'm sorry. Just how it just sounded. He sounded so freeing, and he sounded just so relieved. Like, I got this off my chest, and I choose me. I ain't trying to certify. I'm not trying to make anybody else happy. I'm trying to make myself happy. I choose me at the end of the day. Like, as soon as he left therapy, he realized I got to choose myself.
Yeah.
And it was a great way to end. I just wish it kind of it went on a little bit longer, but because it just ended abruptly. But all in all, it was like, the more I listened to it, the more I fucking loved that record. But yeah, when I was done listening to it, I was like, this is going to be his first album where people are going to be very mixed on it. And I knew that. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I love this fucking album. Now, this was his last album with TDE. And besides Soundwave, who was the only affiliate with Kendrick, there was no TDE presence on this album at all. That's my only gripe with this. There is not one presence.
No, mixed by Ali.
No mixed by Ali. I mean, there was mixed by Ali.
One record.
Production-wise, one record.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Soundwave and mixed by Ali.
Mixed by Ali. But when it comes to artists, especially the main ones, Schoolboy, J-Rock, and Ab Soul, Not even like an Ab-Soul interlude, at least. Like, he could have been on one of these instead of Baby Kim or Kodak Black. But really, and I was just like, huh. I always pay attention to people's actions, and I went back and reread Kendrick's letter and how he praised Top Dog and everything, and then, not have them on there.
I was disappointed, but my disappointment doesn't have
That was like the only
an increment on my rating towards, or how I feel towards, the overall value of the album. That's why I've stayed. I only wanted to keep my opinion on this album strictly on the sound, because if him having to distance himself from TDE was a part of his personal growth, then I can't say I'm disappointed that they're not on the album.
It's more as
because I don't know that situation. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's more as a fan.
But listen to what I'm saying. If him having to separate himself from TDE was the ultimate gain for his personal growth, then I can't use that as a rating tool against this album.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you are.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I can only use that as, okay, that's just disappointing. Like, that's just what it is.
As a fan, it was just like,
that's just disappointing.
Yeah, like Joey was like, oh, we might get a Black Hippie record. Nope.
Right. I do wish that they would have just came out front and just was like, this is his final album for TD contractually.
Yeah,
that would have made things a lot
easier.
Just, okay. Because, that presence was definitely, you felt that. Terrace Martin not being on here, obviously he's not TDE, but there's just elements missing.
That's how I felt on the first listen too, until I kept listening, and then it was just like, okay, and it just clicked for me. Right,
and again, I'm in no way am I saying this is a terrible album. Like I said, it's anywhere between a good and a great album for me, depending on the setting. That's the thing with me. It's depending on the setting.
You gotta be in the mood.
So it's not even the mood. It's the closer I have to get. That's when it turns on for me. So I can't be further away from this to enjoy this. I have to be closer, which means my headphones have to be in, which means I have to be in a certain setting, which means if I'm in my car, I can only do so much because I have to pay attention. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's factors in for my listening experience now. So I have to factor that into my experience.
And that's why I love this album, because he has to make you listen. I mean, not just you, but it was just like, I found it very intriguing to listen to, because now I'm really just listening for bars, listening for music structures, listening to see what connects to what. And it's like, it's making people go back and re-listen to it and find stuff. We don't get that in music no more, because it's like music now, it's just easy to digest. Like, anybody could drop an album and it's like, it's easy to digest and just move on from it. To me, you can't move on from this. If you have the respect for Kendrick like that, you owe him that just to go back and listen to what he's saying. Because if this was bad, I would have came in here and really said it, like, yeah, he missed on this, and that's disappointing. But no, like, he hit it out. To me, at least, he hit it out the ballpark. Honestly, it is by far, not right as of right now, it's my album of the year.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I also have to factor in that you're the type of listener that's used to listening to music in headphones.
That too, yeah.
So I respect what you're saying, but I have to take what you're saying, not necessarily with a grain of salt in terms of being facetious, because I do respect what you're saying. But I have to take that because you're not in the kind of various settings where it requires you to like necessarily be outside of your headphones so much. You have the luxury of saying, okay, I'm just going to be in my headphones. Yeah, but to me, everyone has different experiences with music and stuff like that. Right. I'm the type of person where I'm like, you got to be outside. It's not just about being outside. I want to blast your shit everywhere. But if I got to be, I respect the fact that you want me to listen to it and focus on it, But if I gotta focus on this shit in traffic, and I have to make a split decision on, paying attention to traffic or paying attention to a bar, I'm gonna miss the bar. Because I can't get into the accident. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to be put in that position, because music for me, I shouldn't have to solely focus. I should be able to get that and receive that message, and once I get it, I know what it is. But at the same time, that still doesn't take away from the fact that even if when I do receive it and I am focused on it, again, Terrace Martin's still missing. Mixed by Ali is still missing.
Like you had you just felt like
it wasn't even the expectations, because I didn't go into this knowing that they were missing. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't go into that knowing it. It was a feeling of, once I was done with it after the third one, I didn't look at the credits until after the third listen. And I was like, why aren't these specific songs not connecting still? Because Worldwide Surfers didn't connect at all. And I tried on the fifth. Once I got to the fifth one, I was like, okay, why isn't this hitting? And I haven't had that with Kendrick songs in general. I mean, usually you get to certain tracks and it's like, okay, like it just kind of fades. You know what I mean? But to have a song just not, you get the message and it just doesn't hit. It's like, okay, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Okay.
So for those, it's like, well, these are elements that they're just not there. And that's okay. It didn't connect, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I think for me, maybe because I haven't been to therapy sessions, but I know how like my mind races and shit like that, and I know how it is when like I have rabid thoughts and I have stuff that's going in my mind. So Worldwide Steppers, when I listen to that, it kind of resembles how my mind races. So maybe because I connected to that the most. Like, to me, and it's just how he was rapping and everything, very sinister and everything like that. I like that shit. Like, personally, for me, I really enjoyed it. I mean, some of it was funny. Talk about how he fucked a white girl. Just like, alright. And it was like surprising at first. And like I said, he purposely made this a certain way, because he could have literally gave you what you wanted on Damn 2. Like on Damn 2. If he could have gave you something like Damn, or he could have recreated magic that way. But he chose not to. He was like, no, I don't want. He said he had writer's block for 2 years because he wasn't feeling nothing.
And that's what it. So this is. I'm only focusing on musically why it wasn't connecting. I know why lyrically, even though I got the message, it didn't connect. He's just not out there enough for me to be like, okay. When he said he got writer's block, I was just like, all right, but you take breaks every 2.5 years anyways. So to me, it wasn't it would be different if he was, and I'm not saying this to be like, well, you should do this. I'm just making a general observation. I would have noticed that much different if he was putting music out there like Drake or Cole. Because then that writer's block line hits different. It's like, okay, wow, shit, you had to take a step back. But because he doesn't put music out there as frequently, it's just like, oh, okay, you just had to take a step back. Then the pandemic hit. All right, I can understand that. Okay. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, just as an observation, it's just, all right. And then the whole thing with, I just saw people bringing this up too, and I'm not going to say I got mad at it, because it's like people can say what they want to say about it. That's fine. I just didn't feel like it was the proper equivalent when people said, oh, this was his 444.
I think it is.
I don't think it is.
No, because the whole blueprint for 444 is Hov stripping down. He's being very vulnerable and he's being very raw.
I understand
That's
that.
the concept when people say 444.
I understand
That's what it is.
But they need to find another album to speak that.
All right, this is my Dear.
That would be better, because when you say my 444 or his 444, 444 came after Lemonade and A Seat at the Table. So though that was something,
that's like some
that was something else
stuff.
But you have to. I'm a person of context.
Okay. Other people aren't. You know, I'm just saying when people say, because
but listen.
All right.
This is why I said I understood what people were trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
But as a person of context, that's why that's why it wasn't what it was. That is associated with that, and you can't that's a fact. You can't deny that. That's what that is associated with. Those 3 albums are forever tied together.
I hear you on that.
So
yeah.
I understand that is a personal album. I get that, but that was a personal album attached to some shit that went down.
Yeah.
And associated with that.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna tie that 444 together, that 444 was also about people that are in the public eye like that. Kendrick's not in the public eye like that.
When, again, JC, when folks bring up, they're not talking like literally what it is.
You don't
I know what you mean.
You don't have to explain it to me. I get it.
You get it, but at the same time,
which is why I said I understand what they're trying to say.
Yeah,
I did give them the credence. I understand what they're trying to say.
and 444 is that poster child for how they want rappers to mature.
Which is why I said they need to find a better explanation when you break down context, because context matters. Words mean things, so you gotta understand that.
I hear you on that.
You gotta understand that you can't just say, "Oh, it means something," just because it's the first thing that comes to people's minds. You gotta break stuff down, and then once you evaluate it, see if that's what really holds up.
I guess
this doesn't hold up to 444 because there are different factors that went into that.
I mean, I hear you. I mean, we can agree to disagree on that one, but honestly, when I say this is like his most rawest album, people always generate to 444 or 808s or Heartbreak or Marvin Gaye's Here My Dear. Either way, I guess Hove's album is that poster child for rappers being like vulnerable and raw. So folks always go to 444 just to like, wow, this is like his 444 because he's being very honest about stuff. So that's, and you could, I know it's attached to what happened with, Solange and Beyonce and stuff like that, but no one really heard Jay-Z at that moment be very honest and raw about himself, his ego, all that stuff. And that's what Kendrick was being on here. He was being very honest about himself and his ego and everything attached to it. But, all in all, Mr. Around the Big Steppers.
It did what it was supposed to do, spark conversation.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. It's not again, I'm not saying it's a bad album.
I'm not saying it is.
You know what I mean? People are going to say that if you don't think it's a classic, they're going to say you're calling it a bad album.
Oh, yeah, you know how that is. That's just Kendrick fans really just like
that's how
trying
that
to
goes,
argue.
You know what I mean?
I'm at that point now. I like what I like.
And the situation of it is too is it's not complete for me because I need to see how it goes with performance. That's not saying I'm gonna completely change my stance on it and then be like, oh my god, I saw the performance, now I think this is a classic. I know what I've heard after 5 times. I'm not gonna force myself to try to hear it.
When you feel like you're
because after
yourself.
the 3rd time, if it's not gonna connect, it's not gonna connect. But I understand there is a part of this experience that comes with it, and that's what I'm going to end up seeing at Rolling Loud, which is the performance of art of this portion.
He announced that he's going on tour. He's going to be back in Oakland.
So with that being said, I am looking forward to seeing this performed live and seeing what it has.
Because when I first listened to this, I was like, he's going to go to tour with this album, and I'm like, I got to sit back on this because it plays like a play. That's how it feels like. Like, if Good Kid, Mad City was a movie, To Pimp a Butterfly was like a poem or whatever, if Damn was like an action-packed movie like directed by Quentin Tarantino, this is a play. This is like a Broadway musical. That's what this sounds like. So, I don't know. To me, again, from my precedent, this is a classic, and it will go down as such.
I'm not mad at anybody that thinks that.
No. Because I'm just saying for me personally. I'm being selfish right now. Because every time I know what I personally feel I have the gift of calling stuff a classic after I first heard it. I called My Crazy Life a classic after I first heard it. I called Good Kid, Mad City a classic. To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn. Which other ones? Rhapsody. No, not Rhapsody. But whatever the case, My Name Is My Name, Daytona, all of them. I know what I heard. You called Victory Lap a classic after you heard it. So, I know what I heard. And probably people won't appreciate this album maybe, I don't know, like the other folks, they won't appreciate this album until maybe another 5 years from now, maybe. That's usually how it goes. But until then, yeah. And if he ain't gonna get that Grammy for this one, shit, I don't know what it's gonna take.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad. This is my thing. Music is subjective. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not calling this a bad album because somebody may need this.
Yeah.
It may be the inspiration. I'm very glad he didn't give the music that people necessarily thought that they felt he should have given. Mm-hmm. He gave them something that he himself delivered for him he needed.
Yeah.
So in that, this may spark conversation to, you know, get people out there to start giving themselves into therapy sessions.
And who knows?
And for that, again, I'm mainly focused on the sounds as a result of that, because I do understand that it is a sensitive topic within the community itself in terms of mental health. So I don't want to, you know, drive, oh, he's doing this. Like, no, that I get that. So I don't want to dive too deep into that realm.
Yeah,
I mainly kept my review onto what I heard in terms of musically. But I understand the importance of this project for what it could potentially do. I saw people's reactions to certain records that I didn't connect with. And I saw the importance of that. So that's why I was careful in what I was saying. You know, I didn't have a connection necessarily with Crown, but I saw somebody post a video of themselves crying because they had a situation that happened to them where they were flourished one year, and then the past year, it all went to hell. And they survived it. You know what I mean?
I saw this one dude, like this dude who always plays his albums with his dad, and he played Auntie Diaries on that shit, and he literally broke down crying because he had his brother who's gay, and he saw him get beat up and all this other stuff, and he said he thanked Kendrick for making that record. Right. So this album is going to connect with people that's going through some shit.
Yeah. So again, it's like I said, I mainly focus on what I interpreted. Like I said, for every 3-4 tracks, or for every 4 tracks, I connected with 3. That's where I stand with it.
Big steps. Yeah, I can't wait to see his black ass on tour. Everybody didn't talk about this album. Everybody has mixed reactions. But I'm just glad people are actually literally sitting with it. That's what I like. The more people I see, the conversation and people actually sitting back and listening to it. They're not moving on to the next. They're actually literally like analyzing it and breaking it down, and just like, yo, like speaking of yo from DJ Booth, or formerly DJ Booth, I told him flat out, like like the second day, like I texted him because he's you know doing his writing thing. I'm like, yo, this shit's a classic. He's like, what makes it a classic? I was like, I'll get back to you, but I know what the fuck I heard. I know what the fuck I heard. But yeah, man, great album. Glad you're back. Now go Scorched Earth. I want Kendrick to go on features now. Like, what do you expect him to do now that he's, I guess, back? You want him to, like, hope he disappears again? You want him to be on more features or what?
I don't care. Yeah. And I know, like, and I
kind of how I felt.
I know that's. It's like I was telling you this whole time, though, when you kept saying, well, oh, that's a good album, but when Kendrick drops, that's a good album. When Kendrick drops, it was.
That was for me.
I know it was for you. But it was like I kept telling you even then, it was, I think he even said it in the last track, where it was, don't wait on me.
Oh, yeah.
It was just live in the moment with what's going on. You just can't wait on artists. I mean, even granted, even if, I was even going to say, even if I came in here and absolutely loved this album, I mean, 5 years is 5 years. That's a long period of time to
I said wait on somebody. I wasn't even tripping that he was gone for this long. I was like, he could take his sweet ass time, because he gave me like timeless records consistently. He could take as long as he wants, because that's hard to do, and he has to go through some shit to fucking write that, and he went through a lot of pain. Every album there was a lot of pain he had on there, so for his own mental health he just had to lay it out. And if he doesn't rap no more, I'm cool with that. If he doesn't drop another album, I am cool with that. He literally let it all out. So honestly, if anything, I just want him to go on features. Go on a feature, or just go on features like J. Cole's been doing, and just go Scorched Earth. But, hey, man.
You know,
round of applause for that, man.
Like I said, I mean, when I say I don't care, I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, he focuses on tour. Mm-hmm. So take care of yourself while you're on tour. You don't have the most healthiest life as you travel. So make sure you take time for himself.
He's in Ghana right now.
So while he's on tour, take care of his body and his mental health. I mean, obviously with that cover, he announced he has a daughter now.
Yeah, 2 kids, yeah.
So being the family man that he is. But anything after that, that's his prerogative. I'm not here to dictate how an artist moves or when they drop. When an artist decides to drop, that's when they decide to drop.
Yeah, pretty much. They don't have to drop every year. They could drop 2-3 years. Justin Timberlake was gone for like 4 or 5 years.
Well, I'm not even talking about solo records. I'm talking about features as well.
I know, that's what I meant.
Whenever
Even
they
with
start,
Justin
like,
Timberlake. That's right. Even Justin Timberlake, he barely did any features. He was gone and was doing movies for like 4 or 5 years before he dropped 2020.
Yeah. So,
And hey, man, Michael was gone for years before he dropped bad. Artists have to take that sabbatical for a minute. Bruno Mars was gone before he showed back up for Silk Sonic.
right.
So, and I like that. I like that shit. So anyway, we move on to albums. Jack Harlow. Yeah, some of y'all probably turned it off at this moment. But Jack Harlow, the week before Kendrick dropped, he dropped Come Home, The Kids Miss You. What was your opinion about this?
It was alright.
Yeah, it wasn't
Anything.
it wasn't nothing to hate about because everyone was literally dissing
I mean,
this
there
album.
was a reason to hate on it, but I wasn't gonna necessarily do it. I mean, I'm not his demographic. But I will say, when Kendrick dropped, I did understand the hate for this. I completely understood it. This sounds like Diet Drake. There's no soul in it. Like it's very. I couldn't put my finger on it. I was like, oh, it's cool because I really wasn't paying attention to it. I was listening to it when I was working out, and then obviously when Kendrick came out, like you hear he's very intense. Mm-hmm. I went back and played this, and I was like, yeah, that's what was missing. This sounds very monotone. He doesn't sound like he has any emotion in his songs at all.
Yeah,
I really understand why people were upset with it.
Yeah,
I get it.
I could kind of see it, but this plays just like they had a few tracks. I like the record with Lil Wayne.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's tracks I like, but overall, like I said, I'm not gonna go out of my way to be upset with it because I'm not in his demographic.
Same here, because motherfuckers were overly hating it. It was just like, bro, what? Pitchfork giving it 2.9. I'm like, for what? Wait, what? It was just weird to see. I'm like, it's not that bad of an album. I'm like, I'm not gonna put it on my album of the year list, but I ain't gonna shit on it. Like, it serves its purpose.
I'm indifferent with that. I'm not gonna go out my way to talk bad about it, but I'm also
go out my way
to
praise it.
I'm also not gonna go out of my way to tell somebody to cool down if they are gonna talk bad about it. That's how I just view it. Because I do understand it as well. Like I get it. It's just one of those ones where I liked a few records on there, and that's how I took it. That was what was it? The record that Pharrell was?
Movie Star.
I can hear Big Sean on the remix, and them pushing that one later this summer.
I like Poison with Lil Wayne and Parent
Yeah,
Trap.
that was my standout.
Yeah, and I kind of like Parent Trap with Timberlake. I don't know, it was like a really smooth record. And Jack Harlow went and rewrote his verse on that Drake record, and it didn't help.
Didn't do much of anything.
But, he tried. Good job. Good effort. That's a ding. Give him a ding for that.
He's
It's a ding. He served his purpose. I mean,
he's on the right path. I mean,
I like his last album. This is no different than his last album.
But see, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even remember his last album, so I can't even say I like.
Yeah,
I don't remember talking bad about his last one, but I can't even remember.
Because it dropped in December. That's why. Because you already checked out.
Right.
In 2019. Yeah, it should have dropped in January. I was always saying he should have dropped that shit in January, not December. But it is what it is on that one.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. And also, IDK dropped.
I missed that one.
Yeah, simple. It's quite simple. It's him and Katana. What's his name? The producer. K-Tondra. Yeah, he's on the shit, and it's only like 5 records. It's only 15 minutes too, but the records they're pretty good. I really enjoyed it. It was like a nice appetizer and shit. Should have been longer because he had records on there, but other than that, when it came to music, pretty much everyone got the fuck out the way.
LMA drop.
Oh, yeah, LMA drop. Did you listen to that?
I like that one.
Yeah, it's all right up your bag.
I really like that one. She wasn't talking either, so it was good.
They don't know, like, To Pimp a Butterfly, like poems and shit.
Well, every time it was a banger track, she would talk. On the last one, it was like, how do I put this on a playlist now?
Gotta know how it feeds into it and shit like that.
Yeah, this one, it was great, and actually because she doesn't have all the features on here. Mm-hmm. Like Kirk Franklin pops up on Fallen Angel. I was like, whoa, what the fuck?
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of unlisted features on here, and it's like, wow, those were greatly placed. Mm-hmm. Lotto destroys her feature on Didn't Say. There's a nice texture blend with her and Roddy Ricch on How.
Nice.
Of course, the single DFMU. I mean, there's really a lot to like on this project. I really didn't have anything bad to say about it, but of course, it just got tied in with the mix of dropping in between Future and Kendrick.
Yeah,
and of course, Future, who topped his drop week with what was it, 227,000 first week sales, and then came back the next week with another 117,000.
Yeah, did you see that?
It was the ninth. That's his ninth album.
That went number one
in his catalog, and back-to-back number one weeks.
Yeah, and they dropped the "Wait for You" video, which is on some Game of Thrones shit.
Man, they just do what they want.
Had nothing to do with the damn song, but whatever. It was cool. I was just like, all right. It was nice cinematography and shit because Director X did the shit. So, yeah.
Hey, it ended with "I'm good, beloved, enjoyeth." Made all the sense to me, man. Made all the sense in the world to me. 5 out of 5.
Wow.
Undefeated. Never lost.
Never lost. And you know who did lose? Old boy went up there and fucking got a Dave Chappelle.
And I've been waiting, baby.
Yeah, we've been gone for a minute, and I still can't believe that happened. It happened at the Hollywood Bowl in Hollywood. It was for the Netflix special, and some dude decided to run up on stage and attack Dave Chappelle. And what happened?
Oh, yeah. That is powerful nigga dream.
Yeah, he proceeded to get stomped the fuck out by Jamie Foxx.
Stomp him in the nuts.
Stomp him in the nuts. Even Dave Chappelle fucking went up there and whooped his ass.
Yeah.
Stomped the fuck out of him. Then, and then Chris Rock came out there and said, "Will Smith, was that you?" And old boy's arm was dislocated, and apparently he was MAGA. No, he wasn't even a MAGA rapper. He was just a rapper trying to fucking get clout, supposedly. And they're not gonna press charges on him, the DA, which is fucking wild.
He showed up with a fucking musket.
Musket, yeah, gun knife. Yeah, whatever, man. I don't know how he didn't get locked up. I mean, he got locked up, but they let him free. What's your opinion on that?
Run up, get done up. I don't know why you thought this was going to turn into what the Oscars was. Like, that was stupid.
Very.
Like, that was this is, again, context means things to me. That was a situation between two men that had some history with each other at the Oscars.
I mean, yeah.
That you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a situation between them. And they both had credence to get there. Not saying Will was right, but he had access to do that. Nobody knew who the fuck this 23-year-old was.
I don't know how he got up on stage like that.
Absolutely, that's a good question in itself. But you can clearly see the difference in those two situations.
And he went and tried to spear him like Roman Reigns, and then he got speared, and then tried to run away, and then just got jumped by Dave Chappelle's crew. And dislocated his whole arm and everything. I was like, God damn, bro.
Right, so I mean, if you want to get your ass whooped over some jokes, that's fine.
Don't get your ass whooped and get you trying to troll and shit like that. Just be sure that you know who to troll with. Like that dude who tried to troll Drake. It's just...
They gonna learn to start leaving these celebrities alone.
Yeah, bruh. Like, that one was just like, I did not blame Drake, because that's some shit I would have did. How did it start? Like, what did old boy say?
He brought up Adonis, which is why I've come on this pod many times and said, all right,
because he called him a ghostwriter.
The whole situation with Push and the records back and forth, that was years ago. That was cool, but at this point, they both are parents, they're fathers. Leave it alone. Don't bring their kids up. It's over and done with. And motherfuckers keep wanting to bring the kids up. All right, that's fine. You gotta reap the rewards of what happens when you bring somebody's child up.
So Drake goes and says, "You know what? I'm gonna go follow your wife and show her that there's life better than you."
No, she just said he gonna follow her because he gonna add some excitement.
Add some excitement to her life, and he went and followed her, and then she fucking
hit them DMs.
Yeah, she DM'd him.
No, he DM'd her.
I thought it was the other way. I thought she DM'd him first. I thought she DM'd him first. What did he say? I forgot what he said.
Put the eyes.
Oh yeah, the eye. Oh wow, that's some.
Oh no, it wasn't the eyes. It was. This is too long ago. It don't even matter what.
It don't matter what he did, but oh boy, yeah, his fucking. She fucking caved into it, and dude was just, he couldn't take that damn L, and he tried to capitalize on that shit. He even got interviewed on TMZ and shit like that. I'm like, dude, what?
That's smart.
He was smart for that. And then it was just like, I was like, Drake was like, okay, I guess I added some excitement. He made merchandise and everything like that. I was like, I guess, nigga.
Very smart to capitalize on that.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not mad at that. Like, that's the best thing you could do. But that man still follows your wife. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
You cannot win an argument in your house.
At all, because she could just DM Drake, and Drake could just fly her out to Toronto.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That 757 still got double bedrooms, my nigga.
Mm-hmm. That nigga's in the fucking that nigga's in the embassy up there in Toronto, man. He's up in the hills. Boy.
Yeah, so you better get them crew necks for 65 off as quick as possible, because everything has its day. What I really want to try to understand is thoughts on these celebrity lookalikes.
I hope Drake sues that motherfucker, dog.
I don't.
Why?
Because these motherfuckers are allowed to live in Vegas.
And they said they make money off this shit.
So do the ones in Vegas that look like they try to get it off like Elvis.
Yeah, but Elvis is dead.
Oh, and?
Elvis is dead, Michael's dead, Prince is dead. They can make money, but if there's some shit where if you're still alive and you're trying to use my name, that's kind of illegal.
Let me explain something. Let me explain. If anybody in this world is that damn gullible and that damn stupid to try to catch enough clout to pay $10,000 for a motherfucker that looks like somebody, cash out.
Shit, Drake better than me.
Cash out.
Drake's better than me, man. I'll cease and desist that nigga.
Because if I was Drake, I'd be like, hey, man, get the bag. Because what is there to do with that? Like, how is that his fault? For somebody that is that damn stupid to willingly give you money because you look like somebody.
You're using my name, you're trying to act like me and everything like that.
But they know it's not you.
Some of them actually believe the shit. That's the crazy thing.
Which is why they, like, you are grown at, and I'm not talking about the lookalike. I'm talking about the ones that actually pay to do. You are a grown ass man, grown ass woman, grown ass human beings. You should know the difference.
Just to get a little glimpse, man. He is not your savior. He's a fake savior, fake god, fake six god. Like, really?
I have no issue with that. Mm-hmm. But in return, you need to understand the circumstances
of what comes with that.
Because the one that is playing Dirk,
yeah, you playing with fire right there.
That's the one that.
They did a video for Laugh Now, Cry Later, dog.
I thought that was funny.
That shit was wild.
It's a horrible ass song, but I thought that shit was funny.
Oh my god.
That was hilarious.
Nah.
On jet skis and shit.
Yeah.
You could tell they was at the bottom of the barrel of whatever hotel they was at.
Yeah.
Trying to get that off. They was not on cadence, and that was just bad.
Nigga was jumping around like he was Drake and moving around like he literally analyzed him and everything. Now the Michael Jackson lookalikes, I understand and shit like that. Dancing like him, I remember when they would do that shit, but this is just on a whole other level. That's weird.
But see, my thing is, it's in a country where it's based on capitalism. If you found a lane to get a bag, you're not killing nobody, and you're not taking from nobody, and you're definitely not hurting nobody. Who am I to say that you're wrong? That's how I feel about it. Like, it's a legal bag. You know what I mean? Like, you using somebody's likeness, sure, but that's somebody else's fault. That's the paying person's fault.
Yeah, just don't get shot up. Like, you don't be pretending like you're Lil Durk and get shot up.
That's the only kickback I have, is you need to understand who it is that you're attempting to look alike. Mm-hmm. That's the drawback. That's the only part about that where I'm saying be cautious. Other than that, hey man, do what you gotta do.
Pretty much. Well, what we gotta do is you gotta find God as Young Thug.
Scary times.
Oh my god, RICO, like, that shit was wild. Took down the entire label, the whole YSL crew, right?
Was it him, Gunna, and another 26 or 28?
All 28 of them, like pretty much the whole fucking label. Got down for a RICO charge, pretty much called them a gang organization, and said that Young Thug pretty much put out, he had something to do allegedly with some murders, with some gang murders in Atlanta. and they've been watching his ass since 2013. Like they looked at his Instagram, they're listening to his rap lyrics, all that shit. And I was like, shit.
Yeah, word is that at this point, it's a matter of getting YSL and I don't know too much about this, but YSL and YFN just off the streets because it's connected to innocent bystanders getting murdered at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So they just want the
gang shit.
They just want the innocent murders to stop.
Mm-hmm.
But shit's wild.
It is.
I think they said they got Gunna just because Gunna was just had the chain.
He wore the chain
and was saying he was affiliated in songs.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, I'm always against using freedom of speech to indict somebody if it's not, clearly play it for the jury.
Play it for the jury, and then like what Bobby Smurder did.
You know what I'm saying? If it's clearly not that, then don't be using that in the court of law. But it's wild shit, man.
Really is some wild shit.
I'm not gonna be saying much about it because I am a civilian. And I don't be speaking much about shit that has no doings with the civilians.
Mm-hmm. It's fucked up, though.
But it's some wild shit. I knew when they brought that in and involved YFN Lucci, I knew exactly where that was going.
Mm-hmm.
I did not forget about what was occurring around 2014, 2015.
Especially when Doug shot up Lil Wayne's bus.
That's why I said I did not forget about what was occurring around 2014, 2015. Mm-hmm. And when YFN Lucci was dating Reginae.
Who's Reginae?
Wayne's daughter.
Damn. That takes it back. I forgot about that shit. God damn.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, once all that got brought out, it was like, okay.
Yeah, they were watching
them.
Like, they were literally watching and... scary times.
I saw also a bunch of people that were like, well, how could they even allow what they... was like, 50-some murders or something taking place? And I was like, well, how could they allow this to even take place? Or why wouldn't they stop? And it's like, well, you don't have a case on anybody. If you can't do anything, like, you can't just jump in. You have to... that's how this shit transport. This is why people need to watch The Wire, man. When you watch The Wire, you know how a case is built. Motherfucking careers got to be built, favors got to be dealt in. It's an ugly ass game. Mm-hmm. Like, this ain't just about policing. This is about judges and courts and politicians and all that shit. Like, it's a nasty ass game that trickles down.
It's like a Hall of Fame ass fucking TV show, man.
Right.
Something you should put up in there.
So that's the explanation. That's how you get to here.
Yeah.
And then what was it? Lil Keed passed away in the midst of all this.
Yeah.
From liver failure. Rest in peace. I just saw people's responses to that, and the same thing when it came to Nipsey's passing, where it was okay. Now we got all these people talking about theories.
Oh yeah, the theories about how he passed away and shit.
But the young man unfortunately was talking about how he was drinking lean all the time, and it's like, well, okay, so now we have all these theories, but he can't be. He's too big for what he actually spoke about. Okay, I get it. You know what I mean? So, unfortunate circumstances all the way around. Prayers up for the families, but also prayers up for the families that were involved on the other end.
Seriously,
for that whole situation.
Yeah, and the attorney and the person that's prosecuted him is the same lady that went after Trump. And
so she mean business.
Yeah, and she doesn't do this just for anybody, so she's going after them.
Now this RICO case is to Georgia state. Mm-hmm. It's not a federal.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means. Again, I really haven't paid much attention to this situation.
When all the fucking news shit was coming out, all the shit that Young Thug was getting indicted for, it was like, damn.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how I was looking at it. And it's just like, God damn, bro. Shit, really? That's how I felt about it. Like, damn, they connected this all the way back to 2015.
I mean, the news literally came out less than 24 hours after the Heart Part 5 came out, when we was talking about culture.
Yeah.
So that's what...
that was the ironic part about it.
Yeah.
Fuck calling it culture. I won't Love that damn record.
It's unfortunate, but that's the name of the game, man.
Yeah. Well, Subway that. Shout out to Marshall Matters. I don't know how to get out of that. Give him a round of applause.
Yeah.
Give that white man a round of applause because he's gonna be in.
Going there. I thought we was going to talk about another passing, but we go there.
No, yeah, I'm gonna get to that one. Yeah, is giving this white man his flowers. Doesn't sound right. Eminem is getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and yeah, man, a lot of people were angry about that because they felt he didn't deserve it, which was just like, wait, what? They were like, yeah, there was more well-deserved hip-hop, like, because he got there before De La Soul, and da-da-da-da-da, and I was going like, bruh. In my mind, I was thinking like, bruh, you know they had a voting shit right there. You should have went in there and voted and campaigned. Not his fault that Eminem has, like, the biggest stand base of all time. But other than that, man, shit, that was one of those bands. I'm getting old. Jay-Z's going to the Hall of Fame, then the next year Eminem's going into the Hall of Fame.
I'm not mad with Eminem.
I'm not mad either.
Just the timing again. It's about more deserving artists, but I get it. Again, it goes back to what Hall of Fame it is. It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rock and Roll Hall of
Fame. I'm not gonna get up in arms about it.
Yeah.
Congratulations to M for that hell of a feat.
50, he's about to turn 50, and then he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
Right. So
shit.
It's anybody saying M doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Like, I'm not listening to their opinions on their critiques about that.
It was like a whole discussion for a minute, which was just wild to me.
Yeah, I'm not generally listening to that. Now, if the argument is about timing, then sure. If it's about timing, absolutely. But we've been over that. I'm not. Hip hop needs its own Hall of Fame, so let's discuss that. We'll get on with that. But I'm not going to take away from M. Well deserved position
by far.
And we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Now, let's just get to the sad shit. More sad shit. Man, Kevin Samuels passed away. Out of nowhere. And now it's been like, what, 2 weeks now?
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah. 2 weeks.
2 weeks since it happened. And there was one time where I had to unplug for a bit from Twitter and social media, and that was during the George Floyd protest when they kept showing the police beating us up over and over again, and it was becoming way too much for me. That I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna disconnect for a bit, and I'm just gonna mind my business. Like, nah, I gotta get better for my soul. When Kevin Samuels passed away, first off, God bless the dead, God bless him. Looking on my timeline and seeing so many women wish death on him, and not just wish death, we're just glad he died. That didn't sit well with me.
Keep talking. Yeah, I mean,
and it was just like all these women that yell that they're so hollowed and thou and shit like that, and yet they're going around just praising that he died because he said shit that you didn't agree with. I'm like, this nigga didn't rape you, he didn't murder nobody. And it was just like, you had all this energy for him.
Damn shame, man.
Many women wish death upon him. That was a damn shame, dog. But for just sitting on YouTube saying his opinion, and it's like, and then if you try to explain to women, like, did you really watch his clips? Did you really watch his shows and see how he explained the situations?
No, not the clips.
No. Like, what I mean is
the live streams.
The live streams,
because they saw the clips. It's the live streams.
Because the live streams are too long, and they don't want to sit there and listen. And it just, like I said, that just didn't sit right with me. Because I don't wish death on nobody, no matter how bad they do. Like, even when Trump got COVID, I remember people saying they were wishing death on him. I'm like, no, you pray for him. And maybe that's just me because I'm like a Christian soul and shit like that. But this man didn't kill nobody. He didn't rape nobody. He didn't do nothing to you personally. But just to be like posting videos of you dancing on graves and pissing on his grave and shit and saying, I hope you go to hell. And just, oh man, that didn't sit well with me.
Yeah, that's my thing. If nobody's done anything violent and caused anybody to lose life, there's no reason to wish death. That's what but people have irrational thoughts in their head. They internalize things, then they project them. They think somebody's talking directly to them.
And what was this saying? The shame? What was it? Not shame. The need to be right?
Oh, yeah. What was it? I can't remember.
Yeah. But it was a damn shame that shit happened. I mean, just how he passed away. But hey, man, he passed that away. Any guy would probably go out. He went out fucking. Shit.
Hey, man.
Like, you could either way. He's like, well, he just passed out with somebody that wasn't married. But yeah, but that was his choice. That was his choice not to be married. He went out fucking on a fine ass chick, in his standards, I guess. And fuck it.
His only problem was his eyes was too big for his eyes was too big for his heart. Rest in peace.
Hey, man.
That's his only problem, man. Them thick thighs, man.
Yeah.
This is his only problem, man. Me and my homeboy was talking about this. We was like, the way we was talking about him was, it's kind of roasting you give a man a true honor. Because the way he went out was like that gif of that pastor. And he flies around.
Oh, yeah.
Pulpit, and he turns into a jet.
He turns into a jet, yeah.
And that boy busted his last nut and he elevated out that damn body.
Seriously. And honestly,
And truth be told, brother, there's either one or two ways I want to go. It's either busting a nut and elevating up my body, or dying choking on a damn chicken bone.
Hey, man.
No, don't knock for me. Those are one of the two ways I want to go. Okay,
I guess, man.
Instant satisfaction, either way.
Satisfaction.
Okay, I want to die from coitus or the itis. Okay, itis either way. I win.
You
Undefeated,
win.
never lost.
Never lost.
Shit.
Hey, fuck it.
Don't knock for me, because either way, I would have gone from the itis and I will beat the IRS.
I'll be gone from the itis and I'll beat the IRS. That's a bar. Yeah, man. But rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Now,
I hadn't watched him in a while. Mm-hmm. He had said some off the wall shit, I will admit. I guess in the past couple months. Mm-hmm. So I mean, again, I've said there's some things where he's said some things. I'm like, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that so hardly, but the overall message. I mean, if you step outside yourself, and look at your surroundings, you know, you do understand, you get it. Again, he sparked conversation.
He laid the legacy out pretty much.
So I do understand that. Well, but one thing I was so confused about was that women were so happy about it that they started bringing other things into the mix.
Like what?
It was like dudes that went out and were just like, hey, I forgot which designers it was. They went out and were just like, hey, we're going to show off our suits. Which is fine. Like, okay, that's cool. Like, show off your suits. But they went and got that and they were like, fuck niggas going to Kevin Samuels' funeral. And I was like, damn, y'all that jaded for that shit.
I never saw that shit. Oh, look at these niggas like a march for Kevin Samuels' funeral. I was like...
you see, like, honestly, like, and it's fucked up I say this. But you honestly see some shit like that, and it's like, see, that makes men root for Future getting another one of y'all pregnant. Like, and it's just a vicious cycle that Kendrick spoke about.
First time I fucked a white bitch.
First time I fucked a white bitch, I listened to Kevin Samuels. And it's just a vicious cycle that's never gonna end. And it keeps going over and over and over and over.
Somebody did this.
When you choose me, I choose me. I'm sorry.
It's like gang violence.
Literally.
It's like Vince Staples said, like, this shit gonna end when you bring my cousin back.
Yeah.
Well, you can't do that? Okay, well.
That is what it is.
Fucking ass made a pee-pee.
Oh, God, dog. So what's his worst?
Just know that went number one back to back.
Yeah. And got a Grammy for saying la-di-da-di-da, small. Like Kendrick said, now I want you to say that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you should have known Kendrick was gonna be off the wall when he said, like, you knew the next album was gonna be weird when he said top of the morning. Like, you, like, kind of laid it there. Like, I'm gonna be weird on this shit.
He said that shit and then looked at his phone and said, for the 1,000th time, I'm about to fuck a white bitch. Like, you understand his mind frame. He was doing that shit when he was making Black Panther.
No, he was making To Pimp a Butterfly while fucking a white chick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he was doing all that shit when he was like, you have to go and look back at this man's catalog after all this.
And he was still with his girl at the same time, and he was he was a sex addict. That's what that's why they compared to 444, because he admitted he cheated.
There's some wild stuff going on, man.
You know, and she still took
things.
I know she took him back. That's the one thing I was left with a big question mark, because he said that she, on what's it called, Mother I Sober, she said that
she's gone,
left. Yeah, but then when you see the cover and you see them in Ghana, they're still together. So it's like, it's none of my business. None of my business.
I don't get into all that personal stuff.
And that's what I like. And that's what I liked about Kendrick throughout these years, is that he kept his life private. His girl never went on Instagram. They never did no fucking. They were never public about it. It was always private, and I like that shit.
I appreciate it. But it's also that catch-22 as well. Like I said, not to dive all the way back into it, but when he gets into that ultimate personal bag, it's like also a reason why I also can't connect with them either. Like, it's okay to, let me, like that Vince Staples effect. I like the Vince Staples, just let me in enough to know what's going on, but not enough to turn state's evidence.
Yeah.
But like, just let me know what's going on with you, Kendrick, but not enough to like where you go over the top where it's like, okay, but I don't know you like that, so I can't connect with you on that realm. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when other people do, it's like, oh, because you view him as your savior. I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, so Eminem was kind of classic for that. He was known to be very personal on his album.
Well, because he was killing his mother every damn week in public. Like, he was treating her like Kenny from South Park.
That was just for 2 albums, okay?
It was like Kenny from South Park. Every other song.
That was just for 2 albums.
Well, so was South Park for the first 5 seasons. And then all of a sudden he lived.
2 albums. It was just on the Slim
Kenny
Shady
lives
and the
now.
Marshall Mathers LP. And then after that Eminem show, that was it. He didn't kill his mom or didn't kill, sorry mama. He apologized to her on the 30th LP. Backhanded ass, apology, but yeah. Shit.
Yeah. You want to go to your granddaughter's graduation now?
Yeah, that was on Marshall Mathers LP too. That took a few years, but that took several years.
Okay, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do here?
That man made Kim. We talk about We Cry Together. That was the inspiration from Kim. He inspired. I can see Kendrick just, as soon as he's fucking a white bitch, he just goes on his phone and just decided to listen to Kim, and he was like, I'm gonna make this a song, but I ain't gonna kill her.
Oh, he killed her, all right. It was just out of context. He just didn't. He didn't do no beat it up dance afterwards. It was just stepping.
Oh, God. Then it's tap dancing and shit.
Yeah, step and fetch it.
Stepping, man.
Shout out to the Steppin' Twins too. Salute to them.
Were they on the album?
Yeah,
that was them doing that shit. Oh shit,
tap dancers.
Oh shit,
the big steppers.
You know what could have helped this album? It should have been a visual album, like Beyonce. That's
what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm not mad at anybody that calls it a classic. There were just
that was another thing.
There were just some elements
If they really made this a visual album where they had a videos for every song and they all connected,
right?
Maybe you would have thought about it differently.
Yeah, absolutely. There's just elements that were missing and take from that experience, but that's neither here nor there. We've already gone through that.
We're back to Kevin Samuels,
but this Kevin Samuels situation is just people. I don't know, man. Hurt people, I guess. But if you paid attention to that was one thing I was confused about. They would bring up, and it wasn't. I say they because it wasn't just women; it was also men that would bring this up too. Mm-hmm. So it was confusing.
Yeah,
not confusing that the men were doing it. Confusing in general that people were doing this. They were saying that he was always going after black women, but if you watch the stream,
no,
women were always calling into his show.
Yeah,
he never sought out anybody. And
it's funny.
Not only did they always call into the show, but there were several instances where non-black women would actually try to go after black women, and he would nip that shit in the bud right then and there.
But that would kill their narrative. That would kill the collective's narrative.
Right. So he would stop that, and he would always show stats because he would always want. He actually wanted black people to be married.
Yeah, I
be
know.
in relationships.
That's the thing.
And it was never about. It was never about. What was it? Women knowing their place. How this agenda was put. It was always about, okay, if this type of woman wants this selective group of man, which is the 1% which, you know, I have no problem saying I'm not in the 1%, man. Shit, it's not me.
Yeah.
But if this selective woman wants this 1% type of man,
you gotta act
like Pusha T would say, every blouse, every bracelet comes with a price tag. But that's what he was saying. Which the irony is, like what my homeboy, I forgot who said this. What my homeboys were saying was a lot of women actually dance and ride to many songs that say a hell of a lot worse things than Kevin Samuels says on a daily basis.
Really though, some of them are by women,
and all he was saying was, okay, just know if you want that 1% of man, that's fine. Number one, what do you bring to the table? And if you don't know what you bring to the table, that's fine. But you're going out there on a hunt, not knowing what you want, and you got to be prepared to compete. And they didn't like it.
He was telling the truth.
And he was saying, just go for what you are. Go for what you can get. And they didn't like it.
They didn't like hearing that because he took away their fairy tale, and they didn't like that. Because they always listen to Beyonce and all this other stuff, and they feel like Beyonce gave them that fucking fantasy world, and Kevin Samuels just said, no, that's not how the real world works, baby. And they didn't like to hear that.
And again, there were certain things he would say where I was like,
Oh, yeah, there was a lot. There was some stuff I would be like, I don't agree with that.
But in theory, even the things he would say where I was, in theory, I was like, okay, it does make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just a lot of the need to be right.
Now,
but, you know.
want to talk about timing of that shit.
This is why I thought he initially didn't die.
If you want to talk about timing.
Because I got done watching episode 8 of Atlanta. And then the trailer pops on, and we'll get into episode 8.
Yeah.
But the trailer for episode 9 comes on. And this motherfucker at the pulpit talking in episode 9. And I'm like, didn't they just say this nigga just died 3 hours ago? What the fuck? That was
some crazy shit.
What kind of shit is that?
That was some crazy shit.
Somebody did this.
Yeah.
And I immediately text you, and I was like, I don't know if this nigga did.
Yeah.
This might be a whole experiment.
Yeah, you said Kevin Samuels he's in the next episode. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I said, nigga, I'm watching the trailer right now. I wanted to make it perfectly clear. This ain't hearsay. I'm watching the trailer right now. He's there. So I'm not going to send you a tweet.
Yeah.
I'm watching the trailer right now.
I had to watch it because I was going to watch it on FX. I just got back from seeing Doctor Strange. I'm like, no, I got to watch this shit on... I had to actually watch the DVR version of it just to see the little snippet. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. That's what I thought about. I'm like, talk about time. Donald Glover, he was just like... That's why this makes this season just so like Donald Glover and Kendrick Lamar give you what you need and may not be what you want. Word to yay. So, anyway, so you're going to start at the previous episode? Episode 8, right?
Episode 8 is officially known as Al's episode.
Yeah, it's like a...
Those are Al's episodes.
So what was in season 1? What episode 8? What was that one?
That was the episode with, what's his name?
Barbershop? Oh, I love that episode. It was so infuriating.
Benny?
Oh my God. That was
Bibby.
Yeah. That was such an infuriating... I was mad for him, that episode.
And then season 2 was one with him in the woods.
The woods, yeah. They called that the continuation of the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many elements that tie into that.
Mm-hmm. That was a deep-ass episode.
Did you catch everything?
No. I mean, some of the...
Did you catch the biggest?
Which was...
The biggest one.
The Liam Neeson one?
No. That was a good one, but did you catch the biggest one?
Which was?
He was tripping the entire episode. Even when they went to go get the drug in the first place.
How was he tripping?
When Darius told him, "Don't end up like that guy."
Oh yeah, that was him.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be. Yeah, I know that was supposed to be. I knew. Yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, yeah, that's probably Al. I was like, that's probably Paperboy, and it's gonna probably switch around that. Because as soon as he put the goofy hat on, I'm like, okay, yeah, let's see how this goes. So yeah, so pretty much what he was just drunk. I don't know. It was like some other word. You know how that shit is. And then the whole woman that was in it, and we don't know if that was representing his mom.
It was.
Yeah, it was representing his mom, but it was like a whole other shit. And
so she was a woman that had transitioned. Mm-hmm. It's just a metaphor.
Wow.
She was keeping it real with him, which is you can tie back to his mom. You get that sense that his mom was always talking to him like that, but you always get the sense that she was always talking down on him.
Yeah,
because of how he was responding. And then I don't know if you caught this, when she went to touch him.
And he moved away.
He pulled back. Yeah. And it wasn't a pullback like, oh my God, a person that transitions about to touch me.
It was like a son moving back from his mom.
Yeah, it was one of those type of movements where it was, no, don't touch me because there's some unresolved conflict here. It was one of those. But she brought up some stuff that he didn't necessarily think about or work through with himself. Again, there was a lot of playback to season 2, episode 8. Them fucking kids, man.
When they do the baby,
them wild ass kids. I'm like, oh, okay, these ain't the niggas from Atlanta. Like, he gonna be safe. Yeah, and you niggas gonna throw a baby like a football. And I'm like, oh no, these is worse. Yeah, this is worse. It's terrible.
And I also remember that part before they took the drug, Darius tells them, yeah, no matter what happens, I love you, bro.
And then we see an Easter egg.
Yeah, you caught this. And then I remember I had to catch it when I was watching the YouTube shit. And yeah, it said, what?
Rest in peace, Clark County.
I was like, whoa, what?
Which is what I was confirming to you, was this wasn't it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same year, yeah.
The European tour.
It was so subtle, too. And I was just like, oh, okay. And it said Atlanta right there and shit like that. I gotta give it to Donald Glover, man. Like, and the people who make this damn show, they always be so subtle with the fucking clues and shit like that, the Easter eggs for you. Like, it's made purposely for you to go back to and watch closely.
I mean, season 1 was when they showed the cover for Awaken My Love.
Yeah, that was very subtle. Yeah, I remember that. It was in that dude's office.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
That Liam Neeson...
I couldn't believe it. That was out of... Yeah.
And I was so... That was very dope to see because of the reference they made to him a few episodes earlier.
What was it? What did they say a few episodes earlier?
When they were interrogating Homeboy about the phone, he was like, I'm a white Liam Neeson. And I don't know if you caught the other reference in that.
Which was?
When he was going to say... when Homeboy was going to say nigga, but then he caught himself.
Yeah, he caught himself.
And didn't say it.
Yeah.
And then he walked away. And then in this one, it's a pullback because Al was going to call him nigga and then he caught himself.
Yeah, he did. He was like, my nigga, yeah. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, I'm so glad you don't hate black folks again. Oh, no, I hate y'all.
No, I hate y'all. Y'all the enemy. He's like, wait, what? Didn't you learn anything?
I'm white.
I mean, yeah, but that's the beauty about being white.
We don't have to learn nothing.
You don't have to learn anything if you don't want to.
That was the most... And then...
Club cancel.
Yeah, and he had the most what the fuck look on his face.
Or cancel club, whatever
cancel
it was.
Club
but that was
whatever, yeah.
And the beautiful thing about it was everybody was so mad at Donald Glover and they were voicing their opinions on social media, trying to cancel this man, not realizing that the whole irony of them trying to cancel Donald Glover was over a scene in a fucking club called
Cancel.
Club Cancel or Cancel Club. That was the beauty in that.
Yeah,
that was so fucking great.
You could tell this season's flying over a lot of people's heads. It is. It's literally flying over a lot of people's heads, and they don't like that. Same way how certain folks don't like Kendrick's album because it's kind of low key flying over their head because like they want like you said earlier, you want context, and they want context and shit, and it's just not getting explained, and people don't like that.
Oh, and did you understand? When Lorraine pulled him out last minute before the spotlight went on him, did you understand what was about to happen?
They're about to make him perform.
Did you understand what that meant?
Meaning? Tap dancing?
Did you understand that, though?
No. Explain.
The whole apologize to us until we feel comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Until we feel comfortable. Not until you feel sincere, but until we feel comfortable
enough for you to apologize.
Because when he left, and he goes, oh, I wasn't going to perform, and then she's like, no, that's not how that works. They don't take no for an answer.
Yeah, I just saved your life. That's that cancel culture, yeah. Because you apologize, it's not enough. They'll just keep eating you alive. That's why they took him out. And then she made him fucking paralyzed after she was telling him, who owns your masters?
Yeah, she pulled the whole get out shit on him.
Yeah, and then put him to sleep. And then Darius walked past him, and then he passed out and woke up in his bed. And then he asked about Lorraine. That's when the twist came, and you see Ern just go like, "Oh, your mom," and then that's when he asked Ern about his masters, and Ern was just like, "Huh?" And he's like, "Do I still earn my masters on that new deal you gave me?" And he was like, "Yeah." Now that was one of those, like this is what I noticed about this whole show. Everything is there for a reason. So when Ern went, "Huh?" I was like, "Huh, okay." So we don't know if he's being honest or not.
I took it as, motherfucker, you're asking me this after I went looking for you because you were in the street for 10 hours in a foreign fucking country and I had to change you, a grown-ass man, by myself after I just told you because you wanted some free clothes a few episodes ago and I told you to do something for your hood. And you're questioning me if...
You thought all that, huh?
And you're questioning me if the Masters, at the very least... Who owns the Masters? Nigga, you own the Masters. That's what you're questioning me about? That's how I took that.
Yeah, that was deep. Yeah.
Because who, out of all of them, who's the one that's been preaching all this? It's been Ern. So why would he have to lie to him about that?
Yeah. But yeah, and after that, this episode...
I mean, but think about that for a second. Your response to that is... And it's not just you, because I've seen a lot of people think that. But think about from Ern's perspective. I just cleaned a grown-ass man from throwing up. And your first response isn't, thank you. It isn't, oh, good looking out. It isn't, it's none of that. It's, who owns my masters? Which means we're far removed from the first tour when you were already questioning, like, if I could even do this. But now you're questioning this now, like, I have to, like, wait, what?
I get you on that part. Where, you know, people, like I said, this season's flying over a lot of people's heads. So they're taking any little minimum thing they can take or whatever. Because you can tell they don't like the side episodes. You know, they don't like all those stuffs. It's kind of just like, yeah, whatever. They're just writing it off. Which leads us to last week's episode before we recorded and shit. What was it called? What? Rich Wigger, Poor Wigger?
Rich Wigger?
Poor Wigger.
Poor Wigger. Man, let me tell you something, man. This might be the funniest one of the season.
Oh my god, yes, it was. That was the one that featured Kevin Samuels, yes. By the way.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Somebody might hear this and think it was Khalifa because of the Kid Frankie. Baby. But there's a reason why this song was played too.
Is that the shit that Kevin Samuels plays in this shit?
Yeah. This Loose Ends track, Hanging on a String.
I don't
because
know
Aaron's future was literally hanging on a string for Robert Shea Lee in his future. And also because he is both black and white, he gets to go back and forth and hang on a string in terms of whatever he wants to do.
Okay.
In terms of his identity, he gets to hang on a string.
Was he in the what's it called? The Black Lives Matter episode? The black white boy? Because he looked like he was from... Like, I felt like I saw him before in a previous episode.
No.
Okay.
That's not him.
Okay. I literally thought that was him. When it got to the last part, I was just like...
They don't do the dual, bring the actor back to do another role.
Okay. But, yeah, that episode was just like... Okay, I know what you're doing. Like, when Kevin Samuels came out and said, yeah, I'm about to get paid everyone's tuition for everybody in this room. And everyone cheered, who's black? And then all the black folks started cheering. I was like, oh, shit. And then he was just like, because old boy's light skinned and shit like that. Looking like Logic. And...
Who really is black.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's black as hell.
His name's actually Tariq.
That's funny.
And contrary to what people actually might think, I know people may look at him and be like, oh, well, okay, his daddy... Nah, he actually was birthed by a black woman. What I enjoyed about that, again, little subtle little shit. Mm-hmm. And this little subtle shit was actually dialogue, which I enjoyed. So when they're sitting in the courtyard after it's been announced, and Aaron's sitting with his friends, and his girlfriend makes the comment that, oh yeah, my friend's ex-boyfriend, he like got to go to school for free, and he didn't really even need it. He didn't get to do much of anything. Oh, well, what's his name? I don't know, Zion William or something. And it's like, that's how they think about you. They just think you just show up on campus and it's like you just go for free. You don't do anything. Not realizing you wake your black and brown ass up 5, sometimes 4 in the morning. First one in the gym, last one out. Putting all the hard work in, and all they see is the 28 minutes on TV and all the glory that comes with it. And it's like, oh, he's just getting a free ride. Like, there's no work that gets put into it. Yeah, that's very telling. Yeah.
And then the part where he has to go talk to Kevin Samuels and who else was on there? Up on there, the comedian. 'Cause he's from The Wash.
Yeah, I always forget his name, but I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, he's from The Wash, and there's some other dude there, and they were asking him questions about, they're testing his blackness, asking him all sorts of questions. It's like, oh, did you hear about that kid that got shot by the cops? Oh, the one who got stopped by the police department, da-da-da-da. It's like, no, you're supposed to answer like that. You're supposed to say, that's a damn shame.
Very good questions in that. George Wallace.
George Wallace, there you go, yeah.
That had a key role from beginning to end, too.
Why?
If you remember in the beginning, when he's in the car with his dad.
Oh, yeah, he says, I can't wait till you get locked. You get arrested. And you really...
No, that wasn't it.
What?
He's in that instance that actually didn't have anything to do with it. He said he wished he got pulled over.
Yeah.
His response is what actually got played into it.
Okay.
His response was, I mean, it's easy. They give you a freeze warning.
A freeze warning, yeah.
At the end, they shot homeboy and then they told him to freeze.
Yeah. Yeah. They sure did say that. Little subtle shit they put in there. Now, my favorite part in this shit was the ending. When it was a year later, he's not going to college. He decided to work at, Fry's or whatever. And he sees his ex-white girlfriend show up and all that stuff. And
he's trying to get waves.
Yeah, he's growing. He's pretty much embracing his blackness now. And she's all like talking to him. And he's like, yeah, it's cool. It's whatever. And then he says like, yo, Holly. I guess that was her name. Like, you look really good right now. And then she gets all...
he's like, I've never been more attracted to you in my life.
And she's like...
That's in itself is layered.
And...
Because remember, at the time of their breakup, she was going to school, or she knew he wasn't going. Mm-hmm. There was a black athlete that had that triggered that. Yeah. It was she was upset that black kids were going to school for free. Mm-hmm. But she sure wasn't upset about the attention that them black athletes that were going to school for free were giving her.
Exactly.
So now that he
got mad that she was liking his shit.
So now that he himself has accepted his blackness, and possibly the idea of, because now this in itself could be a double entendre. Mm-hmm. It could be the fact that he either doesn't know if he is attracted to her at that point because he has seen her in a new light, or because of the quote-unquote the stigma of, well, black men are just attracted to white women. Mm-hmm. So now the new light is him embracing his blackness. So as a black man, he is now more attracted to her as a white woman.
And then that part where he just turns and looks at the camera with that smirk. I laughed so hard when he did that. And then the zoom, and it said directed by Donald Glover, written by Donald Glover. Yep. And then the camera started zooming in like Thriller. It was like...
and the music came back on. Oh yeah,
that shit was hilarious.
Oh yeah,
I literally let out the biggest laugh out loud, like, okay.
Oh, but one of my favorite parts was when they were going to the school, and he told his dad, and he's like, you ain't gonna give me a car? He said, me and your auntie take you to the Golden Corral, and that's it. And he said, but what about school? And he said, I ain't taking out no loan. He said, you should have enough saved up, right? And he goes, I got $4,000. And he said, see, that's enough. He said, it costs $50,000. He said, whew, damn, you ain't going to that school.
Now next week, I guess.
I also like the little the cultural. Bless you.
Thank you.
I like the cultural aspects of it too. They paid homage to Outcast Stankonia when people were trying to prove their blackness.
Oh yeah.
And then I love the panning in the view, the homage to a different world. And they did that intro. That was great. And then some of the stuff they was asking, just chef's kiss. They asked that first question. Name 6 things that you can mix with Hennessy. And right off the top, I was like, this little nigga don't listen to Tupac. First thing that came to my mind, it was like, if the first thing that come to your mind isn't Alizé and Hennessy, you've already lost. You've lost right out the gate. Because everything else should be cake right after that. When they said Holy Spirit versus Holy Ghost, I was like, this is easy money right here, man. What else were they bringing up? It was just some good questions all around. They were just toying with them. But somebody brought up the great point, which was he got the full experience of what it was like to be black going into a job interview, which was they just gonna ask you questions off jump knowing that you ain't qualified. They gonna tell you no.
Exactly. That's what it was. Yep. Oh, especially after old boy got shot, he told him, like, oh, because he was Nigerian. Remember, they didn't think he was black enough to get this shit. So then as soon as he got shit, like, oh, now you know the full black experience. Because getting shot by the police, that is being black. Make sure you get his number. Send him to the good hospital.
He said, damn, you really was one of that scholarship. But it also showed he took his damn eyes off the prize. Because in the midst of him arguing with him, even though he is half black, he still made time to make a fucking race joke instead of just burning the damn sign first. And he was the closest one to the sign. And he was right there, but he stopped and looked and then blew his whole chance.
Yep,
right then and there. And it was like, it's, man, good stuff.
Yeah,
just quality. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that pinpoints along with that. I just like the aspect of they changed the name. They changed the name of the school, and his name was still the name of a slave master, but all he did was
a Confederate soldier.
But his nickname was Shay, so they just included the Shay. I still love that shit. He saw the name of a slave owner himself, but it was not. We gonna make this Shay.
Yeah, make it Shay. Yeah,
that shit was great too. And then when they told him no, he said he ain't black, he's white, and the other dude was like, but he off-white.
He's off-white.
That was by far the funniest one of the season.
Yeah,
easily the funniest episode of the season.
Now the season finale is this week while we're recording this, and from I just read on Twitter right now.
It's Van's episode.
It's Van's episodes, and just from the trailer, it's gonna be probably one of the wildest yet, and that's gonna be it for season 3. That's going to lead us until the final season later this year.
I'm willing to bank on that one revisiting her conversation with the friend in season 1 when she was talking down on her, not
that
traveling.
Was a great scene. That was a great scene.
Not traveling and then being around the kind of women that men want and cultured. I have a feeling they're going to revisit elements of that.
Yeah, but I just read a tweet right now saying it's the wildest one yet. And it's like, it was just all over the place. And then I responded, so it's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. So, yeah, man. So, if we want to stay on TV, or movies, actually, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Some wild shit.
Man, that was some...
They was multiversing.
They were multiversing. Motherfuckers were getting in their feelings thinking they should have gotten R rated, and it was too scary for kids. And I'm
no,
like...
it wasn't.
Like, what? And it was Sam Raimi. I'm like, man, have you ever seen Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? That was PG. I was scarred from watching that shit. Nigga ripping hearts out and getting stabbed and shit. Fuck out of here. No, this one, it was cool. It was a Sam Raimi movie out of an MCU movie. Like, everyone had their hopes up thinking it was going to be what they wanted, and it wasn't. So, yeah. I enjoyed it though.
It was great.
Yeah.
I was thoroughly enjoyed. I was pleasantly surprised that they mentioned Spider-Man for all of 30 seconds. And I was like, damn, I am glad that I didn't actually need to see the damn movie. That's pretty
No
dope.
Way Home.
That is actually pretty great. Like,
it has been months and you still have not seen it.
oh well. According to that movie, I didn't need to, so that's fine with me, baby. I really don't care. As long as I saw WandaVision, the last 2 Doctor Stranges, and of course...
last 2 Doctor Stranges.
Well, the last Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And then the What If. And then, of course, the previous 2 Avengers. I mean, shit, as long as I saw those, I was in good shape.
Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much what you gotta tell folks. But yet again... let it get with people, man. When people ask, do I need to watch all the movies? Yes!
Motherfucker said that they introduced... a Latina superhero that could cross the borders.
Yeah, America Chavez. That's fucked up. Yeah, because she can go to other multiverses and shit like that just by punching shit. And Wanda just had to be a Karen because she wanted to get her way. And some people were mad that Wanda was the villain. And I'm like, did you not watch WandaVision? That was a villain origin story, man.
Wanda was running around like she was pot.
Yeah. Yeah. There was no sitcoms this time. Shit, magic shit, baby. She's like, oh yeah, it's not gonna be. It's like, yeah, I was like, what'd she say? She was like, yeah, next time I come back, I ain't gonna come back as Wanda. I will be the Scarlet Witch. You niggas in trouble.
Greatest scene in that film. Looked at that motherfucker. What's his name? Black Storm.
Oh, the dude from Inhuman with the bolt.
Black. It ain't Black Lightning. It's
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Whatever the hell his name is. She looked at him and said, "What mouth?"
And pulled a fucking Agent Smith on his ass.
Greatest bar I've seen in recent Marvel memory. What mouth?
Mouth.
Bing! Popped his dome piece. Used his own mouth to pop his own dome piece.
Oh yeah, Jim was in there. Fantastic Four.
Jim Halpert.
Yep. Unraveled that nigga. And the Black Captain Marvel, she was there. Got killed by bricks.
Yeah.
And then
Professor X was there, and then
he played the original.
And he wasn't there no more.
Cracked his damn skull.
Yeah, the Illuminati wasn't that strong with Illuminati. That's the only thing. But I get it. Like, they wasn't used to. They probably thought
Doctor Strange was the most deadliest, and they were going like, "Oh no, you don't know who's fucking coming."
yeah. But see, I saw a lot of people complaining about that. Like, this Illuminati ain't strong, and it's like, no, different multiverse. They thinking it's one thing. They thinking it's one way,
but it's another way.
But it's the other way. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta. That's again context, nigga. People don't like to think.
Well, yeah.
They wanna escape reality, and it's like you still have to work within parallels of shit. Otherwise, that's why. What's the point of writing? You could just throw shit on a screen and call it blue magic instead of red dog shit.
You also gotta remember, people don't think they don't think like us. They're not built like us.
Ain't my problem.
Yeah, I know it's not your problem, but you can't really get upset about it.
I'm not upset. That just gives me credence to just say, hey, context, motherfucker. And I get to ravel in that because I'm right.
I mean, yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Like, that. You can't get upset if that's the whole point of the multiverse, where they get Thanos is a menace in our universe, but to them he's not, because their Doctor Strange was able to capitalize and he figured shit out way before he was able to collect all the stones. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. Which is why they had to get rid of that fucking Doctor Strange way before.
But also he was corrupted by the book.
Right.
They had to kill him.
Absolutely. That's what I was saying. You wouldn't understand that because people are thinking, well, the 616 universe. It's the only universe that operates the way the 616 universe is the end all be all for all the universes, and like that's not how that works.
Yeah, pretty much this is leading into Secret Wars, where there's like one big ass multiverse battle, and pretty much what they're laying the foundation for. What I'm seeing, like, yeah, this is the foundation for this is the multiverse saga we're in right now. The last one we were in was the Infinity Saga. Now we're in the multiverse saga.
And I'm cool with these being standalones for a while. I saw a lot of people getting upset with like, well, how do these all tie in? It's like, just let it
play out, man. Like, you didn't figure out everything after the first Avengers.
Not everything was running into Endgame back in 2008.
They just wanted to get to Avengers. Yeah. That's all they wanted to get to. And then Thanos showed up on a wing, and then Kevin Feige was like, Infinity War. Yeah, let's try to lead. Let's see how far we can go.
Right.
And he did. He said flat out that there is no plans for any type of endgame event in the near future.
Yeah.
He's done told everyone this, but yet they just want to play.
Which
stupid.
the key words is near future. That could change at some point through.
During the fucking I guess one press conference, he said he had to go on a retreat where they were going over the next fucking 10 years. So they got movies and shows all laid out, man.
I mean, he getting ready for his Star Wars show.
Oh yeah, the Star Wars show, movie, or whatever. I can't believe he has time to do that.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I'm surprised he has time to do that.
I'm just surprised that after Kenobi, what's the other Star Wars shows?
Mandalorian.
There's another one that's coming up too. I forget her name.
Oh, Ahsoka.
That's
the one from Clone Wars.
After those, they're gonna start doing, Star Wars material that's completely out of the Skywalker saga.
Yeah, and they're saying
it's all standalone. So I think there's one that takes takes place 200 years before Phantom Menace, 100 years or 200 years before Phantom Menace. Mm-hmm. That's based on the Siths. Yeah, and I'm like, hey man, run that shit.
Yeah, and then they got
that's gang right there.
They got Rogue Squadron. They make a movie off that, which is kind of like Top Gun, just with the Rogue Squad, the X-wings and shit like that. Yeah, I'm like, do movies like that now. And Kathleen Kennedy did an interview saying like, yeah, we're focused on more having one long continuous story now. We're not worried about trilogies no more. I'm like, that's what you guys should have did in the fucking beginning. But whatever.
Beginning.
No, when they bought Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
that's what they should have did.
Well, no, what they should have did was they should have honored
George Lucas's vision
for the final trilogy.
Yeah,
then they should have,
ventured off
and
not been
did
stuck.
That. But it is what it
Whatever
is.
Y'all
At least we got Kenobi that drops next week. I'm excited. Mm-hmm. I'm very excited.
I'm sure you are.
They keep dropping new material, new teasers, and all kinds of explanations and shit on YouTube, and it's like. Drop that shit, nigga.
Drop that shit. Hey, drop that shit. Like, Master Kenobi. Master Kenobi. Hold on. The Force is here.
Hello there.
Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. They showed an old Caden Christensen. He looking old. I don't think he's not looking that old.
Yeah, that nigga's looking like Darth Vader going into A New Hope.
Seriously. Like, yeah, I think that could work. The old Hayden Christensen playing. I wonder how that's gonna work. Seeing him, like,
it's gonna be perfect because they have. I know it's all rumors and everything, but they've explored what's gonna take place going into the third episode. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna go into it, but from what I read, as far as how the second episode ends. They're gonna pull that off where you have to. There's a post-credit screen. Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna go Marvel
because they're debuting. You know how it was supposed to debut on May the.
Oh, they're giving 2 episodes.
Because remember how it was supposed to debut last week?
Yeah, a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Well, they're waiting next week to do double episode. Mm-hmm. Wait until the post-credit scene. There's some shit that pops off, and that's supposed to get you to build up hype for episode 3. Of Kenobi, not episode 3.
Yeah, not the classic.
Kenobi episode 3.
It's funny. I rewatched episode 3 the other day. Again, and it's aging better with each watch.
Told you.
Yeah.
Told you.
Still like Empire Strikes Back, but it's aging better.
I get Empire Strikes Back, but
I know, but the dialogue in there still just.
I know about the dialogue. Like I give you that, but
I know, but I'm just saying like everything about that movie.
That's lightsaber battle, man. This confliction. I remember you was conflicted.
Just using your influence.
Play that shit when that motherfucker walking through the Jedi Temple. Play that shit when Mace Windu getting knocked out the fucking window.
What have I done?
Play that shit when he force chokes Padme.
You turned her against me. Yeah. Let her go, Anakin. Let her go.
Abusing my influence.
Don't underestimate my power. Don't do it. Anyway,
full of resentment.
I hate you.
Oh no. Maybe I'm just another nigga.
No. Oh shit, man.
Turn around, this nigga talking to Boba Fett and shit.
Well, I made this.
This nigga talking to Darth Maul or something.
Talking to Darth Maul, Palpatine. What's the ground mean? What's the ground represent? The ground represents the Jedi that's gonna get eaten up.
Yeah.
Shit, dog.
I don't know. and then so what was he saying? But that's what it is. Well, I think that's how it's gonna go. You know, that's what it means. You know, me be one of your offsprings and whatnot.
What's the ground represent? What's the force represent?
Mustafar, motherfucker.
No, and there's Yoda talking.
Yeah.
The ground represents the moon that goes into the stars.
Pain. It represents.
Pain. It represents. What if Kendrick was talking to Yoda at the end of fucking To Pimp a Butterfly?
They got that fucking jazz music and shit they was playing at the beginning of A New Hope.
What if Kendrick was talking to Yoda just at the end?
Yeah.
Not Tupac. Just what if that in an alternate universe, in another multiverse, at the end of To Pimp a Butterfly,
To Pimp a Yoda.
Kendrick is talking to Yoda instead of Tupac. That's how he got Album of the Year at the Grammys.
Motherfucker talking to
Frank Oz,
General Grievous and shit.
Grievous. Shit. Anyway, NFL schedule came out. None of them games really matter except for New Year's Day.
Give me a hell yeah!
Where you gonna be? Because I know where I'm gonna be.
Yeah, you gonna be in the Luxor?
Yep.
Niners are going against the Raiders on New Year's Day, which is a Sunday. Sunday! And either it's going to be for playoff position or it's going to be for pride. Either or. Oh, baby!
Either way, they're gonna be pushing P, and I'm gonna be there.
It was like the last 2 weeks of the season, so it's like, oh, wow, okay.
We was laughing about that. My nephew's first vacation is not gonna be to no damn Disneyland. Ain't gonna be to no Legoland, no nothing. That little motherfucker going to the desert, being diabolical just like his uncle. 'Cause that is gonna be a family vacation. We all going to the Death Star. That's gonna be nice, man. Shout out to my plug. He let me know that shit 24 hours in advance before that damn schedule came out. I had to keep that shit tight-lipped so we could get that shit booked, ready to go. Cause boy, once that word came out, all them Airbnbs and them hotel rooms, my God.
I'm sure. Hope it gets flexed for a prime time. That'll be some shit if it gets flexed. It becomes like an important game.
Shit, it don't matter to me. I just shit.
I
Just know the whole family gonna be out there.
I'm sure.
My mom has never been to Vegas before,
Oh, nice.
and that's gonna change. But yeah, the NFL schedule's out now, and that was all I cared about was that game. And I was like, oh, New Year's Day. Mm-hmm. Looks like I ain't going to work Friday before.
I don't think a lot of people are going to do it.
PTO.
Shit.
PTO. We is out there.
That's what's
I
up.
don't even know when it. The first Raiders game's in as a away home game.
Yeah, our first one's an away game against the Seahawks.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
No, it can't. Oh yeah, I forgot. It is because Russell Wilson's.
Gone. He's in Denver. He's in
No,
York.
that's not the first. Because the first game's Denver.
Oh,
and
Chicago.
Seahawks. Yeah.
Chicago. We go against Chicago.
Yeah.
In Chicago. They go against Justin
I think you meant the
Fields.
first home game. This is the first home games?
Yeah.
Okay,
against
gotcha.
the Seahawks.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, the
That's gonna be interesting.
first Raiders game is in LA, which is. Might as well put that shit in Vegas.
Might as well, but y'all going against the Rams or Chargers?
Chargers.
Ooh, boy, it's gonna be a game.
What else is there?
On paper.
Yeah, the second game is the home opener.
We got a lot of home games. We got a lot of home games this season. Like a lot.
No, every team gets 9.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
You might have seen the bye. And for whatever, it confuses people. Every team puts the fucking logo as their bye week, and it throws people off because it's like, oh, we got 10. It's like, no, it's just a bye week. Every team gets 9 home games.
I know we got 9 home games, but I saw how it was like listed, like how it was. No, I'm not the bye, but how it was listed. It was like we have multiple home games is what I was noticing, and they literally split all the fucking away games away, like because it felt like last season our 9.
Oh, you're talking about consecutive?
Yeah, consecutive.
Gotcha.
We got like a consecutive home games. So I was like, oh,
Gotcha.
Let's get the shit.
Yeah, now every team gets 9 home games. It's 9 home games, 8 road games for the 17. Because 17 over 18 weeks.
Yeah. And when we come to the playoffs, a few weeks ago, you were telling me about Memphis's
IQ.
Basketball IQ, and I was just like, Well, I didn't say but I was kind of just like, okay, let's see what they are. And when I watched game 1, I was like, why would you make that? No, what are you doing? I don't even play basketball. Why are you making that shot? No, don't do that. Okay. And I was like, this is what JC meant.
They lost by 1 point as a result of that shit.
What is that the one that John Murray got blocked or missed the layup?
Oh, maybe, but that was one that Clay hit that 3 with like a minute left.
Yeah, that was game. Yeah, that was game 2. Yeah.
They came back 1 game. Interesting series altogether. Then Ja Morant got hurt. Was it game 3, game 4?
Now,
one of those games.
Demmer. Long time ago, when we first started this shit, JC told me about the Demmer curse, and I believed him. I do believe him, you know. But this is.
Oh, but now it's Scarlet Witch.
This was some Scarlet Witch shit.
Oh yeah. You thought the Warriors were gonna win Game 5 and there was gonna be a wrap.
No. The way when Ja Morant went out, this man Demmer went out there and said, "Oh man, Ja Morant, I saw the fucking Facebook shit." He said, "Oh, yeah, Ja Morant's out. Guess the Warriors have an easy run to the fucking East-Western Conference Finals." I swear to you people.
And then Game 5, they were down by as much as 50 points.
No, 50.
50 points.
50 points. Yeah. They got blown out by 50 right after that post. That curse is real. I had to post in the fucking book. Y'all know I don't come in here. But this is some scary shit. Hope you don't wish me a good day. No, bro. Nah.
I took a picture with that man just to know I keep the peace.
Yeah, I keep the peace too.
Yeah, ain't no hostility over here, man.
Yeah, nah. Nope.
I'll tell you what though, I'll tell you this though, when he actually bets point spreads, he actually is good money. It's just when he bets outright, it's a scary experience.
His
guarantees. I tell you, man. He said, "Yep, y'all better be scared. The only way we gonna lose is if Anthony Davis comes back and he gets hurt." Second quarter, Anthony Davis out with a leg injury.
No, talk about the pandemic one.
We out here partying. They say it's pandemic. Pandemic what? Kiss pandemic my ass.
What pandemic?
Next day, the whole world shut down.
Gotta do something else.
Whole world shut down. Even Florida. That was when I knew, like, okay, this is some shit. Because Florida was like, all right, I guess we're going to have to do this. Because, you know.
No, or during the election. Yeah, man, Trump. It looks like Trump's winning this, bruh. Trump has biggest. Biden wins the biggest blowout in election history.
I don't even know where them Trump ballots is at.
Yeah,
them shits is lost somewhere in the Bay Area.
You're cool, Demmer. You're cool.
How did the ballots from Kentucky get lost in the Bay Area?
Now, so yeah, the Warriors are going to the Western Conference Finals. Now, the Suns went against the Mavericks, right?
The Mavericks.
So I asked you before that last game, did Denver bet on the Suns? Because
my response was no. Chris Paul literally turned 37 right in the middle of that series, and it was legitimately. I showed you what happened.
Yeah,
he was 36 years old the day he scored 28 points.
Oh my God.
The day he scored 37, or the day he turned 37, it all went to hell. I'm not joking with you. Dude. He turned 37 years old and everything went to hell.
I didn't watch the game. I was just looking. I was at Karina's barbecue. Shout out to Karina. Like her Studio X year anniversary. I thought barbecue was nice. Shout out to Mr. Fab.
Hey.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game, but I saw the score, and I was looking at the score, and you were texting me like, these niggas up by 30, 10, 20 right now.
They were down by 40 points at home in Game 7.
And then and I looked on Twitter and I saw that picture of Djokovic looking at.
That wasn't Djokovic.
What's his name?
That was Luka Doncic.
Luka looking at.
Smiling at Devin Booker with violence in his eye.
He had that smirk on his face like, you
Devin
good,
Booker
bro?
had said it was the Luka special a few games earlier when he had basically went down for a foul. Mm-hmm. And Luka walked out after Game 5 and was like, "It's easy."
He quoted Jordan.
Yeah, it's easy to laugh and smile when you up. And walked out that gym knowing they was not about to get eliminated. And my God.
I saw the highlights. That was a massacre.
At halftime, the Suns had 27 points. Luka Doncic also himself had 27 points. The Mavericks themselves had 57.
It was 57
at halftime
to 27.
Charles Barkley, he didn't know what to say at halftime.
Really?
Because Charles Barkley had banked on the conference finals being next to his home. Because he lives in Phoenix.
Oh, wow.
He did not know what to say at halftime. Stephen A. Smith was...
speechless?
I mean, he was getting ready his agenda because, you know, Stephen A. Smith don't like admitting he's wrong. So clearly when he's wrong, he just says that some shit's in the air.
Yeah.
And somebody needs to be drug tested.
Uh-huh.
But boy, I will say that it did bring out one of the best Buck Nasty impersonations I've ever seen. Patrick Beverly went on a run on ESPN the very next day.
A promo run.
Oh my God, my God. I mean,
eviscerated Chris Paul.
One day we was on Chris Paul's side because he was saying that a teenage kid kept touching his family.
Uh-huh.
And then after they got eliminated, we was cheering on the fact that Patrick Beverly was bringing out everybody but Chris Paul's mama's dish on TV. Like Jesus, he was going out bringing all the smoke for everything.
Literally said nobody respects him. Nobody wants to.
Naming people.
Yeah.
He said, I talk to people. I ain't gonna name, but nah, man, I was talking to Paul George. Nobody respect them. I was like, damn.
Like what?
After this man just got eliminated in the first round.
Every time.
He went out there. He said, look, man, Luka Doncic, he scared me, and he scared everybody. He be putting the points on Kawhi and Paul George and all them. I'm gonna tell you something right now. We don't lose sleep over the Suns. Nobody in the league lose sleep over the Suns. Said that right in broad daylight. He said Chris Paul is like one of them training cones.
Yeah, I saw that.
He just be there, don't be doing nothing. And I said, damn. Because what can you say? Chris Paul's 37 years old. Like, I mean, wrong messenger, but right message. Like,
yeah.
What can you say?
Yeah, and it was just like,
I mean, it's nasty work, but what can you say that wasn't right in what Patrick Beverly said?
But and what's crazy is every time Chris Paul fails, the timeline just rejoices.
I know I was. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Why don't you?
The Suns got up under my skin last year.
Oh yeah.
Them and they fans is just running them. And I get it. It's always This is what comes with being a Lakers fan. Mm-hmm. It's the extra hate and salt that comes with it. So I understand and I get it. Mm-hmm. But it was some extraness that got put on that wound where it was, all right, for sure. We'll see you. Mm-hmm. And even if we don't see you, we're going to see if you can actually put it together. And when they didn't, I took a lot of pleasure in that. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lie to you.
I don't blame you.
My Suns pack was extra musty.
Smoking on that Suns pack tonight.
No, I wasn't smoking on that one.
Oh.
It didn't sound like that. It sounded like Wait For You. It sounded very crossfaded. I sounded like Thames. I will wait for you. Sound like I was serenading that nigga in hell. Join me.
Yeah, we both started singing that shit.
Yeah.
We don't know what the fuck she's saying.
I was serenading them niggas in hell. Welcome.
Welcome to hell. Run. Motherfuckers.
That's exactly what I was. That's the loud pack I was on. Oh my God.
And then you were just like.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
But there's definitely some internal shit going on. DeAndre Ayton played all but 18 minutes.
Really?
And he wants a supermax, and they saying it was one thing, but then teammates were saying it was something else. So now it's conflicting stories, and it's just not sounding good. They have a nice young core, but a lot of money is tied into Chris Paul. So it's, and he scored 28 points when he was 36. And he literally turned 37 in game 3, and it was downhill from there.
Well, he scored
He
more.
had 1 point going into the third quarter of Game 7.
And you get more points in game. And
Bro, I'm going to tell you this. At the end of that game, Luka Doncic had 35 points. Great performance by him. The Suns' top 3 scorers at the end of Game 7 combined for 2 less points than Doncic had by himself. Their top 3 scorers combined had 33 points.
damn. Well, that's more points than James Harden had in the second half of his elimination game.
Yeah, but it was only 2 more points than Spencer Dinwiddie had by himself on the Mavs.
You know, it's just so wild when you see these type of players and they just go down in a blaze of glory. These type of teams with the Nets, the Suns, that's what I've noticed. They go down with the most draw. They go down in a blaze of glory.
And the thing of it is that Doc Rivers actually made the Sixers loss worse. Like, Doc Rivers didn't actually have to say shit. Well, before he gets the Sixers, the Bucks lost too.
Yeah.
But I'm not even mad at the Bucks because Middleton was out. So that's the thing, like, injuries, you know, they're a part of the game. It's not a cop-out, but what do you want Giannis to do when Giannis is the first player over a stretch of games to literally put up 35, 15, and 5 in that run? What more do you want him to do? I text you at one point, I said, yo, it's 9 minutes into this Game 7, and Giannis is literally halfway to a triple-double.
Yeah. Yeah, in the first quarter.
Like, what else do you want that man to do? Because there's nothing else that can be said about that.
Yeah.
He let it all out there. I'm not going to fault him for that. I'm also not going to, you know, it's not a pass. But at the same time, when his role players that are supposed to go there shoot 2 for 16 from 3, nothing else can be done. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the Celtics. I hate saying that.
Well, they just lost right now.
Lost to the Heat.
They just lost to the Heat.
I feel a little bit better, you know.
There you go.
What it is. So the Bucks are out. They got blown out themselves. So the last
that one was kind of shocking.
The last 2 finals participants, they're gone. Just, it gives more precedence to what LeBron was able to do for 8 consecutive appearances.
Seriously.
Like, that shit is not easy.
Same with the Warriors, too. Shit.
I mean, yeah, you know, you give credit to them. They went to, what was it, 5 in a row?
5 in a row, yeah.
Wow, that shit's not easy.
At all.
But I mean, for one guy to take, what was it?
How many teams? Cavs, Miami, Cavs, Lakers.
No, because he didn't go 8 times in a row with the Lakers.
Oh no,
it was the Raptors that went, and then he went with the Lakers the year after.
Yeah,
but even then, 9 out of 10 years
by himself. Well, he had the help he had.
Right, but I mean, 3 teams over a span of 9 out of 10 years. That's insane.
Especially in the Eastern Conference Finals and shit.
Yeah,
Eastern
like that's nuts.
That is nuts, man. And then go against the same team in the finals for how many years? 5 years in a row?
Right. It's crazy. But now we get to this Harden pack.
You play Family Ties the second half. Yeah. Smoking on your top, smoking on your beard ass tonight.
A lot of people said he was going to do something that Ben Simmons couldn't. And they were actually right. He did do something that Ben Simmons couldn't.
Which was?
He actually shot in the fourth quarter. And he went 0 for 1.
And that was the only time.
Quarter.
I did not believe you when you told me he only had 1 point in the fourth until you showed me the stat. And I'm like, what?
No, he didn't have 1 point in the fourth. He didn't score in the fourth.
Like, he didn't score at all.
He just shot in the fourth.
He only shot 1. And what was he doing?
Well, he did have 1 point. He had 2 points in the second half. I know that. But he shot once in the fourth.
But what was he doing?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of plateaued with my my weight loss right now. So I'm at that moment. So I think he was at the same cardio doing that same shit as me. Because he didn't do. I could have went out there and did the same shit with my plateau that I was doing as James Harden.
And he getting paid millions of dollars?
I think I don't know how true this is. They said the Heat in Game 1, they brought his favorite stripper out to Game 1, and it fucked his game up. He only had like 14 points or something like that.
That nigga's never gonna get a ring.
I told you that. Kobe told you that.
Yeah, Kobe did
Kobe told you he was sitting next to Tracy McGrady, and he said that way of playing is not sufficient to win a championship. And motherfucker said that Kobe was hating.
Kobe told the truth. Rest in peace.
How do you say that? How do you tell somebody that he's hating a man that went through that 7 times and came out victorious 5 of those times. How do you tell him he's hating? He has the experience for that. It's the shit I'm talking about, man. People just love to hear themselves talk.
Or what about that one clip you sent me? Or no, you didn't send it to me. I think I wanted to send it to you, or you retweeted it about that. He was talking to this dude was talking to an NBA player, and he was talking about Kevin Durant and LeBron, and he said like, no, KD's.
Yeah, I forgot who the NBA player was, and he was telling them, look, I have a lot of respect for LeBron. He goes, look, first of all, both these motherfuckers is like once in a lifetime type players.
Yeah.
They're crazy. He goes, but I fear Kevin Durant's pump fake more than I fear LeBron's, because you have to give it that much credit. And this motherfucker was just fighting this. I don't even know if he's a former NBA player or if he's a current NBA player. It doesn't matter. This guy played in the NBA, and he kept fighting this man, saying, no, I don't believe it. And he goes, okay, I'm telling you I played. And he goes, well, I'm telling you I watched.
That shit, and he said it with his straight face.
What kind of shit is that?
As if this man not only played, but had to go back and watch the footage of him playing on a daily basis.
Like he was a coach.
Yeah.
And he was trying to explain to an NBA player his own game because he wanted to fit his narrative. He didn't want to be wrong.
Nasty behavior, man.
That was wrong. Like, why they give you a mic, nigga?
So I'm saying is, in contrary, like, I know it's a lot of vitriol out there for the need to be right, and people saying that about women. It's a lot of nasty ass motherfuckers out here that's men too.
Yeah.
There's just this need to be right instead of just accepting what people are telling you,
or just be like, you know what, okay,
and just leaving it at that.
Yeah.
But leaving it ain't even about okay. The man has played against both. There is no okay.
Exactly.
He's played against both.
That's why when artists like even rank their albums, their own albums,
leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Don't get mad because that's their work. That's how they view it. So if Michael decided, if I was talking to Michael Jackson and he felt that History was his best work, I'm gonna be like, all right, not gonna get mad about it.
I wouldn't even get mad. I wouldn't even ask him to be like, explain yourself in that term. I would ask him, wow, can you explain the process of why that is? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's these motherfuckers get upset where it's like, why? Because they feel like you're challenging what they've invested in. And it's like, man, it's okay to...
Like, for the longest time, Eminem did an interview and he was saying how he felt Relapse. He feels Relapse is his worst album. He felt Encore was better. Personally, for me, I love that damn album. And I was like, what the fuck? But then, as I got older and I went back and revisited the album, I was like, okay, I like the album, but I can understand why he didn't like it because he didn't show no growth. I get it now, So it's like, I'm not going to argue with the man who made the fucking shit. So it's like, niggas.
Bro, people, we love to come out here and we love to say Tupac is the most poetic, the most lyrical influence. Mm-hmm. I'm a hypocrite. My favorite album is All Eyes on Me. Mm-hmm. He ain't his most lyrically in depth. You know why?
Why?
Because the nigga joined the Death Star. It's Death Row. It's my favorite label.
Death Row.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I have reasons for why I like certain things. He joined my favorite label.
He's like, he joined the NWO.
Yeah, like, it's his best produced album. You know what I'm saying? Like, sound. Yeah, he joined my favorite label. They had the best produced, like, all that type of shit. I can be a hypocrite in that. Fine, fuck it, whatever. Who cares? Shit. That's my favorite shit. Fuck you. Not you, but...
I know. I was gonna say, nigga, like, fuck, nigga. I like Machiavelli. Not you, but the people.
These motherfuckers gotta leave that shit alone, man. I swear, bro. Like, they take so much shit to heart. Stop taking shit to heart.
It's your opinion. That's my opinion! That's why I always say to me a lot, because I don't want to argue with you motherfuckers no more. The older I get, the more I just don't want to argue with folks no more. Some dudes all getting mad about my opinion about wrestling. It's like, and they just kept trying to write in paragraphs to me, and I just kept sending them gifts back. Oh, you side with the oppressor. Okay.
What do you want me to do with that information?
Okay. That's what they sound like to me.
Like, honestly, it sounded like people wanted me to come in here and, like, argue with you about your take on Kendrick's album, and I'm like, I'm not gonna argue with Busby about his take on, like, if he felt that's how he felt about the album. Like, I have a different, I'm not gonna
force
him about
Like, I'm not gonna
listen to it 2 different ways. I'm just gonna explain how I heard it. And
I used to feel that way back in the day, but you grow old, you mature. It's people's opinions.
I'm not gonna change an opinion on something that's subjective. I'm just gonna give how I felt on something that is my opinion based on a couple facts, and then that's that. Like at the end of the day, that's how it goes.
Your opinion. That's why I don't get mad about reviews. I don't get mad about none of the stuff or what Pitchfork posts. If they like, I'm just gonna say this though. I did feel kind of laughing when the album just dropped, and I looked on Wikipedia and you saw all the media outlets that gave it 5 out of 5.
That's why I know I wasn't trusting I wasn't trusting nobody.
Yeah, I laughed because it was just like, what the fuck? But I was like, fuck it. Hip hop.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, that's going to be in history. So, hey, fuck it. Hip hop.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, cool. That's fine. Whatever. But I'm like, y'all motherfuckers is liars.
There's no way.
You heard this off one listen. You were like, perfection. No, fuck y'all.
I knew it was a classic, but I didn't know what it was fully until I listened to it the 100th time.
Fuck y'all. 10 out of 10 bullshit.
Bullshit.
At the very least, you could have put favorable. I would have been fine with that. But 10 out, no, fuck you. Get out of my face.
That's why I'm glad we're recording this album now, because now we properly sat with it.
Yeah.
Because if we would have came in the next day, I wouldn't know what to say.
I just knew I was not coming in here saying it was bad. That's all I knew I was coming in. I was not going to say it was bad. If we would have
recorded that next day, I would not have had an opinion about anything. I would not have. I was like, I don't know what to say. Like, I gotta sit with this.
I wouldn't have came in saying it was bad, but I definitely would have came in. Well, I'm smoking on this nigga's top 5 though. Smoke on this nigga's top 5 records.
You know, it was one of the, and that's why I'm glad it's leading to this discussion, because now people are talking about, yo, we should maybe listen to albums now. Maybe
you think?
You
fucking think.
Not just put microwave music and just, put 30 tracks down on a playlist and just move on and shit. No, you're looking at it as a complete body of work. That's why I like listening to albums.
I mean, even that goes with Future's album. I mean, I always say this about Future. Mm-hmm. People can say what they want about Future. Mm-hmm. Okay? But one thing you can't take away from him is in his DNA. That man is a part of musical royalty. Mm-hmm. You cannot take that away from him. That's why when so many people are shocked, like, oh my God, he's still here. Yes, because he's musically developed to last. Mm-hmm. That's why people sound like Future, not the other way around. Mm-hmm. Because he is musically inclined.
Yeah.
So even when you look at his creative process,
yeah,
it looks like somebody that's just mumbling. Yes, because he's going through a different process of, I want melody first.
Kanye does the same shit.
Because once I get my melody right, then I can go into toxic.
I can fill in the void.
Toxic underrealm shit. And let it absorb everything.
Oh, God. Okay. I guess Future has your album of the year right now.
That's still Vince Staples.
Wow. Well, I'll say this. 2 West Coast niggas have the best rap albums this year.
Yeah, they're up there.
Yeah.
But I will say, but Future, Future is right there.
Yeah.
Like I will say, that album is still great. There is still a lot of replay value in that album.
There's a lot of replay value albums this year.
Yeah, there is.
Kendrick to Pusher to Vince Staples to who else?
Denzel Curry.
Weeknd. Man.
I still need to get on that Saba album.
Yeah. That one was
at least for me.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten to that, but I've seen a lot of people that I trust their opinions.
Oh yeah, it's good, but it's not like the last one. It's
I mean, I feel how I feel about Future, Vince Staples, and Denzel Curry. Mm-hmm. But I at least want to listen for myself to see.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
listen.
But to me, that was it was pretty anime.
I mean, I'm anticipating Travis Scott with Utopia.
Oh yeah,
because that's gonna drop at some point this year. But yeah, no, just music in general. It's really just about how you. I won't even say about how you receive. It's really just taking the time with a project.
Literally, bro. Like, that's why there was that one period. I think it was it 2018 or 19 when there was just a whole shitload of music that just kept dropping.
Yeah,
like it was like a bucket of music, and it was just like too much that I couldn't absorb all of it. It was a lot.
And then in the instance, if you pull imagine this. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you are a part of cancel culture and you done cancel some motherfuckers, but then you do some shit where you catch a 1 to 3 bid and you end up in the jail in New York. You got nothing but time to sit down and listen to a concert that you thought you canceled. This nigga R. Kelly.
Yeah.
You ain't got nothing but time to listen to R. Kelly. Mm-hmm. He ain't going nowhere.
At all.
He done had himself a weekend. And I know it hurts people to say that. I mean, part of me, I'm going to say it kills me because I'm not listening to the music.
Me neither.
But it's just a testament to say your internet shit is not real life.
Like somebody said,
there is still a world even in jail.
Yeah, I remember some dude on Twitter said like, somebody's like, "Oh, R. Kelly's good." It's like, no, R. Kelly's music wasn't that good. It's canceled, like nigga.
No.
That shit is nasty, but it's nasty for a reason. It's nasty to look back on it and be like, damn, because it's that damn good.
Yeah, like he was a yuck.
I look back at it and be like, damn, because of the source material.
But that music was good.
But that music was damn good. It's just yuck because of the source material.
It's that simple. Like, you can go back and listen to it. Joe, if you could disconnect yourself from that and listen to it,
more power to you.
More power to you. But for me, nah. Mm-mm. Anyway.
That being said, of course, he got the name drop in
Kendrick's album twice.
Yeah. And then there was a report saying R. Kelly is bringing nothing but smiles and joy to your New York inmates when he is hosting his own concerts and sing-alongs when he's having his own jailhouse rock. That's right. They going crazy for that Doing Doing. They going crazy for that Ignition remix.
I Believe I Could Fly.
What else they going wild for? Bringing them back to America.
Stepping in the Name of Love.
All them hits.
That sounds like something.
Imagine canceling him on social media and then you get to jail and this nigga having concerts every Friday.
And you got no choice
but to be there singing. And you know, once he figures out how to read, he gonna figure out how to stream that shit.
He gonna figure out a way to get out. Find some type of loophole.
I don't know about that, but he gonna find a way to stream that shit. It's gonna be Rolling Loud Federal.
I still can't believe that shit. Yeah, that happened. And on that note,
well, because he befriended the dude that shot up the
subway.
There's just shootings everywhere.
I mean, yeah. Thoughts and prayers to all the families. Which
that's
I hate
all I'm
saying.
saying for the families.
Yeah. You got
bare arms.
Yeah.
Bare arms. Freddie Gibbs need to bear arms too.
What's up with your boy?
It ain't stopping me from buying the music, but they out here turning him into Cousin Buddy.
Yeah, apparently, allegedly, Benny's people. He was doing a show in Buffalo, and Benny the Butcher's people, I guess, gave him hands and feet, and it's on video because TMZ had the footage.
They say if he Muslim, why was he in the pork shop?
Yeah.
And I just said, what was Big Business said he keep getting his ass whooped like he going up against DX.
Yeah. I don't know. I made a prediction last year that Freddie Gibbs was going to have one of the best rap albums. I said Kendrick, Pusher, Hove. I feel Hove's going to drop an album. And Freddie Gibbs is going to have the best rap album this year.
I think he's going to drop one of the greatest albums because you know why?
Why?
Joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain.
Yeah.
He got to have a therapy session too.
First time I got... What was it? First time I fucked a white bitch.
He was in Buffalo.
That really is like a therapeutic ass beat though. Like you confessing your sins.
I'm a killer, he's a killer, she's a killer, bitch.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I love that. Cause that really
That's the hot dog video meme.
Yeah. I knew that from when I first heard it. I'm like, wow. Or the they got the cowboy fan on Mr. Morale.
It was the worst performance I've ever seen in my life.
I knew exactly who that was. I'm like, was it that game? Oh my god, that game.
Yeah.
It was a 2012 game.
Yeah.
I was like, ah, damn it.
Yeah.
Because then that's what the Niners gave. Was that was some shit. I'm like, that's what we gave you.
I mean, going based off of interludes and sound clips, 10 out of 10.
And losing sound clips.
Ain't no losing sound clips. 10 out of 10, my boy. I give him that.
Hey,
no error or no bad response from me there.
All I know is Dissect. They're looking like LeBron in Game 6. They're looking at that out like the Dissect podcast. They dissect all the lyrics and shit like that. They're gonna dissect this album layer by layer.
I thought they was looking at it like Homeboy that does all the skits. I'm 36.
I'm 36. No, they're like, oh yeah, because they broke down "To Pimp a Butterfly." They broke down "Damn." They're gonna break this shit down. And they gotta wait a while. They gotta wait for the concerts, the performances, the interviews. I hope Kendrick doesn't do an interview for this shit. I hope, because he went straight to Ghana. I knew we were into some shit.
They showed a picture of, or Elliot Wilson put a picture of him up on social media. I don't know if he was with him.
It was him and his wife. Like, he's still out there.
I know. I don't know, but it was a picture that nobody else has. I don't know what Elliot. But shout out to Elliot Wilson.
He be posting.
He does.
No, I just knew we were into some shit when as soon as I saw the cover art, and then I was like, oh yeah, Kendrick's in Ghana for the album before the album release. And I'm like, oh, so he's out of here. Oh, we about to hear some shit, and he don't want to say shit about it. He don't want to look at nothing.
That's how you protect your peace, your mental health.
I choose me. I'm sorry. Damn, that song's so funny.
Just like that Lovers and Friends festival.
Well, I think the pandemic was trying to save us from something.
Saving me from spectacular. You saw that clip?
Yeah,
took off that.
Wiped his balls with it and threw it in the crowd.
I first saw the clip. I was like, "What is Ty Dolla $ign doing?" And then I saw it and I was like, "Oh, that's spectacular." They done locked up the wrong Pretty Ricky member.
Yeah, and then what they said, like the sound.
That nigga is a menace to society. That like he should really be arrested for that. That is. And I guess there is COVID in that, and he don't even need to do that because that's the one that is that has wealth in all them cryptocurrencies. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a damn shame. Really is. And somebody really caught that.
Yeah, and apparently, like I guess the what's it called? What's it called again? The Lovers and Friends shit. Yeah, it didn't go too well. Like, I guess the VIP was blocked off. I don't know if you saw, like, I guess the general admission was all the way in the back. Cause you remember how we were in Dane Vegas and shit like that? Yeah. Nah, the super VIP was the one that was up close. Everybody else was like all the way in the back. Literally all the way in the back. You couldn't get no good view or anything.
Oh no, I choose me. I'm not sorry.
I choose me. I'm not sorry. Like they say it was too hot. That water was too.
There's something about festivals in the desert going into summertime. I'm not subscribing to that agenda.
They said, and then like the soundboard, Mace got mad that his set got cut because he went over and he thought Diddy had something to do with it. When really you were just late, you stupid nigga. And
he thought Diddy had something to do with it, even though Diddy was at the Billboard.
Artists were dropping out. Niggas were mad at Brandy dropped out, but still had enough time to get mad at Jack Harlow for not knowing who she is, and not knowing who she is, but didn't know that her and Ray J were, siblings. I just chalked that up like he's young, stupid, but young. I didn't.
Every day people wake up finding some reason to be upset and thoroughly invested about something, and I'm like,
get a life.
All right, man. Like,
on that note,
one more.
Oh, what?
Abbott Elementary. They have officially been tagged as ABC's favorite child now. Mm-hmm. They're ABC's franchise kid. They are now taking over what used to be Modern Family's primetime slot, 9 p.m. on Wednesdays.
Good for them.
That is their slot now going into season 2.
Good for them.
And shout out to Monique.
She got a job. Calvin got a job.
She is taking over as the character Goldie going into BMF season 2.
Good for her.
50 don't play.
He don't play. Got her on there. I thought she was going to be on Power.
That's what I thought too.
But,
And shouts out to Michael Rainey and I keep forgetting Homeboy's name.
The white boy?
Yeah, Gio. They got their own podcast. The Crew Has It.
So recast the podcast now? Mm-hmm. What's it called?
The Crew Has It.
No, that's what it's called. And what are they talking about? Just
everything Power related. When their first episode was just them two when they first got on Power. The last episode had Alex, who plays Effie. And then this week's episode has Young Kanan.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to that.
It's on YouTube.
Oh, it's only on YouTube? Oh.
Well, I mean, you can listen to it, but shit, it's on YouTube. You might as well watch it on YouTube. It's better that way.
Fuck it.
Yeah, no, they doing big things with that. Shit.
On that note, this is episode 265.
Four.
It's 264 of the Big Step Up. Mr. Buzz B of the iLLogical Sense podcast, the most consistent podcast in the area. You can always follow me on Twitter. Shout out to Mr. Fab. You can follow us. You can follow me, Mr. Busby, at Mr. Busby4 lowercase 08 on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram at the iLLogical Sense. You can always follow us on the Facebook. And am I missing on something?
If it's not up on Instagram, we're gonna figure that shit out because we had some technical difficulties we got hit up with before we started recording.
Yeah,
we're gonna get that figured out.
We'll get that figured out. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You know it.
Yeah, just follow the Twitter for the time being. But yeah, we're there.
We're there. Oh yeah, JC.
Give me a hell yeah!
And on all social media, you can follow me at JC No. What else? Oh, The Offer has actually been pretty good.
It's gotten better?
Yeah, I mean it's still a lot of fluff, but it's thoroughly entertaining. They finished Winning Time.
Heard it was a great finale. Heard it was a great finale.
Really, really good. What else is there? We Own the City.
How's that?
It's almost finished. Man, that's my shit.
I've been watching
some shit.
I've been watching the Real World Reunion special, that's some good shit to watch. Man, just a lot. It's too much. Man, it's too much.
But you already know I'm here next week. I mean, I ain't here, but
you're the boss.
You know where I'm at next week. Leave me alone.
And not just the men,
but the women and the children too. That's what they don't understand. Okay, I'm glad you brought this up. We are in hour 3, and I'm gonna keep this real short and simple. But I really don't understand this. Okay, Obi-Wan shows up to this woman Padme. Rest in peace, Padme, Luke and Leia's mama. Okay. I respect her in that realm, but I don't understand. How is you a damn senator and you don't get this shit? Okay? He show up to this woman. I have seen Anakin killing younglings. No, not Anakin. I don't believe you.
It's on film.
Bitch, I told you not just the men, but the women and children too 3 years ago, and you married me. No, it's not even about the film.
Yeah.
I told you 3 years ago, not just the men, but the women and the children too.
And I hate those motherfuckers. I told you.
And now there's video footage, and you stupid joker. I remember you was conflicted.
You've turned her against me!
Misusing your influence.
You've done that yourself!
Abusing your power. Some of did the same. Full of resentment.
Full of rage. Is it new? Oh, man, whatever. I'm gonna go on a whole rant now. Anyway.
I don't understand her thought process in that. I really don't. Well, she was in love, no. And she was pregnant, no.
Bad writing.
No. Well, the right. I'm talking about from her perspective. No, he showed you who he was.
When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Context.
Come on, man.
On that note, peace.